Well, they came upon a defensive tackle. They traded Malik Collins for 49ers.
How good do you want to be? From play one to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, gather around. We got a whole bunch to talk about. Welcome on to the Morning Huddle. That is RJ Ochoa, the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. I am but a cog in the machine. Rob Thompson on the other side of the double pane. That's Easy E. Edwin Hafner. We got 4 hours headed your direction. James Pledger, hit the snooze button and go back to sleep, please. Get on the Brigade Bar if you're not already there. Join us post haste. It's going to be a busy Thursday. The Dallas Cowboys got into the fray, put their hat in the ring, and signed themselves a linebacker. We're going to talk about
buy into us,
Erik Kendricks. But first and foremost, good morning to you, sir, RJ Ochoa.
Yo, we did it. The Dallas Cowboys became, yesterday afternoon, the last team in the NFL to sign an external free agent, which means at one point they were the only one who hadn't. It was the second time in a 3-year stretch where they were the last team in the NFL to bring in new blood. It happened in 2022. But they broke the seal. And so now they're going to be running outside every 10 minutes because Erik Kendricks, they they couldn't do it normally. You know what I mean? They couldn't just sign a normal free agent. They had to make it dramatic.
Oh, he's good.
He's a very instinctual linebacker. But I have a hard time, falling in love with new coach bringing in former player who they worked with at a different spot. That's all. I mean, I used to roast Ron Rivera for this in Washington. He very, very infamously said that he thought Antonio Gibson reminded him of Christian McCaffrey. It was just the silliest thing I'd ever heard.
It's a distant beauty. It fits my narrative.
This feels kind of like that. That's all I'm saying.
We're going to talk Cowboys as they did, in fact, break the ice, and there is more to get done. Let's see if they'll get it done today. Around the rest of the league, Tennessee's making some moves. Ridley signs a gigantic deal to go to Tennessee to join the great Tony Pollard there at running back, and that was just one of the moves that went down. We'll make sure you're caught up there. It is one of the best sporting days of the year for a certain faction, a certain group of the sporting world. Yesterday it kind of began, but today all of the basketball tournaments are in play. Big 12 is getting busy. Kansas already gone since he put them out. It's going to be a fun couple of days. Today and tomorrow and this weekend and on into next are proof why being a basketball fan is far better than being a football fan.
Wow.
It's true.
I mean, I think you're forgetting about what life is like in September, October.
No,
November,
what I'm saying is,
December,
you have to love them both. But as a basketball fan, I get, that bowl weekend, the New Year's bowl weekend, I get that over and over and over. Football, you get it once a year. I get it over and over, and then it culminates again. I mean, I get the bowls and not just the passing Poulet and Weed Eater Bowl. I get the good bowl games over and over. I will get a bowl weekend 3 times over the next month. I mean, a legitimate 4-game day, 3 or 4 times in the next month, where every game's good, and I can't wait for the next one. I just get more of it.
I mean, look, I'm very excited for it, but I think that's a very, very lofty comparison. But hey,
more is always better. More is always better.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Name something that more isn't better.
Trash.
Well, it depends on how you use it. Hey, the Spurs are heading up to Austin for spring break, and it's weird.
You think they're gonna try harder?
Well, I feel like I'm sending my kids up to my crazy uncle's beach house for a week. I need them kind of focused, and we're setting them up to kind of like the South by Southwest is kind of, like technical fiesta, like a high-tech fiesta.
I feel
There's a
like
lot to do up there.
I feel like we're sending them off to be like shown off. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be some sort of challenge where they have to live in a glass box for a weekend or something like that. Like, and everyone's just going to come and like poke. Ooh, you're the basketball team from down to. Ooh, you're the ones. Ooh,
That's kind of like, oh, come over and look at what we got.
Oh wow!
And
you guys do this all the time. Wow.
And I get the emails.
When do you go hiking?
Well, it gets worse than this, RJ. So while we know they're up there, I'm not privy. A lot of us are, but as part of the media, get all the PR press releases from the Spurs, and they're doing all kinds of cool stuff in Austin this week. Like there was a free concert tonight for the Spurs centric stuff. They don't do that for us anymore. I feel like you know how I feel. I feel like the underappreciated wife, the one that makes sure there's a hot meal waiting for you every night when you come home. And now you're just gonna go spend a week up there and have a free concert and go out and we'll be here.
We've been pretty hard on this team. I don't know that we've necessarily been cooking hot meals. You know what I mean? Like we've been.
Hey, those clowns haven't deserved a bed more than once over the last year. We let them come back in.
We're throwing Pop-Tarts and Uncrustables at them.
They're staying up all night playing video games and not getting a real job.
Yeah, baby.
I'm putting up with some stuff. I deserve a little love too. Why don't they take and show us? Why don't they show us a free concert?
We sent them on a spa trip. That's how I'm looking at this. A spa trip. Go get right. Go get yourself right. Get recentered. Get recalibrated. And let's do this.
Have you seen Stella Got a Groove back? It doesn't end well. Those things don't work out well. Don't let them go.
Well, not a fan of that movie based on this premise alone.
I've
never seen it.
I'm just saying. There's also
the Players starts today. Are you excited?
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about it. The Players was always, up until very recently in my mind, the Players Championship was always a lot of fun. There's the thrill of the course, and everybody loves the course, and there's the thrill of the hole. What is it, 17th? Yep. 17th. And hitting the ball onto the island and all that. I think that it was the most fun thing that the tour did, other than like the pro-ams. And I think that the Phoenix Open has doing something differently.
Well, it's also because it's the fifth major, and it's put on by the tour. You've got to be on the tour to play in it, and that's a contentious subject right now.
Yeah.
In the world of golf, so they always bill this as the best field in golf because it's comprised of the PGA Tour, which is the best tour in the world of golf because it was the only tour at this level. That's no longer the case, which makes it a little bit awkward. So it's a different time in the world of golf, but nevertheless, it begins today. There's a lot going on. This is a multiple screens kind of day.
Well, yeah, it does. There's a lot going on. I want them to be entertaining.
The golfers?
No, it needs to be entertaining. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because now I have to judge against the two. And I feel like the Livers want to entertain me more than the PGA does.
I agree with you. But I will say there's enough going on to keep you entertained if the players
not cheese man drama. I'm talking about fun golf.
I'm saying in sports like it. So the players have got to do a lot to pry you away from some conference tournament action.
True.
Players have got to do a lot almost to pry you away from NFL free agency action. It's up against a lot of stuff in the world of sports. That's all I'm saying.
I will agree completely, and we should. It'll be interesting to see, even though I probably won't see a single putt. I'll be elsewise occupied all the way through Selection Sunday, and then we begin anew with the tournament going. Oh my goodness, there's a lot to get into around the rest of the NFL, NBA too. So let's do this thing the correct way. Let's get this show paid for by our fine sponsors and come back and look at free agency as we sit. The Cowboys do got one. He's a linebacker named Kendricks. The Texans continue to stay busy. Somehow, somewhere, the best team in the NFL in the free agent market became the Houston Texans. And we'll figure out how they did it and what they did coming up next. Hold on, there's so much to do, and we're glad you're with us. This is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's coming. It's almost here.
A 15 seed will head to the Elite Eight.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is your home for college basketball's national championship.
On their way to their 12th national title game.
68 teams, Sweet 16, Elite 8, the Final Four. One winner takes all. Hear it all on your home for March Madness. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Westwood One.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Last week after the show, a gentleman contacted Gigi to work at a barbecue restaurant at 2:00 on Sunday. I said, Gigi, you're not going to go meet a stranger at 2:00 at a barbecue place.
I think it's fine.
No, it's not.
He is going to feed her, and she is going to show up. I know her.
The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The ultimate March Hoops experience is in downtown Las Vegas. Don't miss out on Mega March at Stadium Swim at Circa Resort and Casino. There's no better place to take in the action than in the 6 pools at Circa with their 143-foot screen. Experience the game's poolside with various seating options. No matter the size of your group, Stadium Swim is the place to be. Find all the Stadium Swim options at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for Mega March at Circa Resort and Casino. Book now at circalasvegas.com.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your body's own natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk, run, climb stairs, play golf, and move again, pain-free. No pills, no risky surgery. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. So take action now. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
My new exercise bike. Yeah, more like my $1,500 coat rack.
At Babbel, we get it. Learning something new is hard, especially a new language.
My Spanish starts and ends at Adios.
Make it easy on yourself with Babbel. In just 10 minutes a day, you can start having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Hola, Espanol.
It starts here. To try Babbel free, text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. Pick up to 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your face. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text ENERGY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text ENERGY to 200-300 right now. Text the word ENERGY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text ENERGY to 200-300.
Don't you love an extra $100 in your pocket?
Have a TurboTax expert file your taxes for you by March 31st to get $100 back instantly. Because no matter what moves you made last year, TurboTax makes them count. That means getting $100 back and 100% accurate taxes only from Intuit TurboTax. Must file by 3/31. Credit only applicable to federal filing fees with TurboTax full service. Offer can be modified or terminated at any time.
Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the Just Capital seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 for ongoing commitment to their workers with initiatives like Sharing Success, which awarded 97% of their teammates additional compensation, nearly all in stock. This is the program's 7th consecutive year, awarding more than $4.8 billion in total. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment can clean your system and help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, you can get 2 bottles for only $9.99. A great deal to help you go a great deal farther. Find Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any one of our 6,300 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Lowe's, pros save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 230 or more select James Hardie fiber cement siding panels. And there's more. Save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back to the Huddle. Hydrate while you got a chance. So I'm looking at my email, RJ, to make sure we're not sold out. It looks like we didn't sell out yesterday, so there's still no, we're not sold out yet. It looks like we got about 10 spots remaining for our golf tournament coming up in March. We're in March. Here in 2 weeks. March the 25th, we're playing. It's going to be Golf Club of Texas. We got a big shot worth $50K. You get a chance to win a big game trip by Sierra Auto Group. We'll have post party at 90 Proof Bar and Grill over there on 90 and Lucky Ranch. That's afterwards. It's gonna be a great day. And we will be sold out. I'm gonna put the over under on Monday. By Monday, there will be no more space. So if you want to play, jump in.
Do it or else.
So let's be real here. It took a minute. But the Cowboys did finally make a signing. And if they'd have come out and signed Erik Kendricks, formerly of San Diego, more formerly of the Vikings, a long time.
Formerly of LA. No, everyone
it's always San Diego. No, sorry. Formerly of the Chargers for one brief pit stop. He didn't like it there, evidently. But really, he was one of Zimmer's linebackers for a long time. He was drafted Zimmer back 15. Noted football player, good locker room guy, a good signing for the value. So on its face, if this had happened Tuesday, I think we'd have said, great start, guys. You're doing it right. But
maybe
day late and a dollar short. And the longer they waited, and this is what I find so remarkable about this, is we just see the Texans just going to work. Like bam, bam, bam. Sign, deal made, trade, pick, dang, bang. They're doing it. We just wait for the Cowboys. And as we wait for them to do stuff, then everybody starts whispering and talking about what's going on? Why? So anything that shifts, people are starting wondering, why is this small thing happening? So the Cowboys have just stirred this cauldron to just it's now a shark feeding frenzy. Any kind of activity, any kind of movement, we're like, oh, what? So
the show has become the show.
Yes,
to your point,
it is.
Right.
You said it in just a few words, which took me minutes to get to. But you're right. The show has become the show, and that's what I find so extraordinary about the signing. And everybody's like, "Yeah, but good get, but yeah, we like him." But I won't talk about that.
No, but we've also reached a level of coping and bargaining. You know, I've got some Twitter mentions that are of the variety, you know, that say, oh, well, you know, given that he knows the scheme that Mike Zimmer wants to run.
I don't know why you discount this.
This is better than if we had signed Patrick Queen on the first day of free agency. You know,
well,
it's just, I mean, look.
Well, first of all, why do you have a problem with old vets coming and playing for their old coaches?
Because recreating what you had together isn't just, you know, like it is. You can't just do the same thing and have it be awesome and wonderful. I used the example a moment ago about Ron Rivera. When Ron Rivera got to Washington, he brought in several former Panthers. He brought in Curtis Samuel was kind of the biggest contract that they handed out at the time. And, you know, you're not just going to, you know, my argument at the time was you're not just going to replicate the 2015 Panthers, which was a really successful season. But just because all of you change uniforms and polos doesn't mean that you're going to get to do the same thing. You actually struggled to do the same thing at your previous stop, which is why you're all on new teams now.
Oh, RJ, every coach has been fired. Come on.
And so,
I disagree with this premise because I will agree with you if like Dan Quinn and his acolytes, it's kind of crazy. Didn't he get Wagner yesterday?
Dude,
the number of dudes that just flocked to his flame, one reason or another, I don't know. But okay, but
so
there's that.
Well, I know this is about the Cowboys, and you're right. But that was probably the lowest I felt this entire time when Dan Quinn brought in Bobby Wagner. But to your point, that does check the like we work together in the pass box. But
let me take it one step further. This is why if it's just one guy, I appreciate the mantra of at least this cat, given time is of the essence, knows what I'm doing and can be out there on the field and help me get across my concepts. He's there on the field and allows me to do that. And that is enough for me. Now, suddenly 4 guys show up off of a failed scheme. Then I go, yeah, dude, come on. But this, I feel like until he brings in somebody else, another former Viking or whatever else, first of all, on his face, I like him. And secondary, I like him even more because he does, in fact, bring the knowledge that's going to be required to kind of indoctrinate the other guys that are going to be running something.
Well, they might be bringing in another former Viking. We'll get to that in a little bit. But maybe not necessarily a defensive player. Again, we'll touch on that in a moment. But so like let's look at this in our current moment. The Vikings are being regarded as this really forward-thinking organization right now. Their GM is young, and it feels like, and I know that Kirk Cousins left, but you know they made that decision. They made a difficult decision to let him walk because he didn't fit their timeline anymore. And they brought in Sam Darnold to kind of serve as this bridge. We'll see who the quarterback they ultimately chooses in the draft, whether it's Jaden Daniels if he falls, or they trade up, or JJ McCarthy, or whatever the case may be. And they're ready to build around the rookie quarterback contract window that we've talked about that Houston's doing a great job on capitalizing on. So the Vikings have become, and there's a lot of data to support this, a really forward-thinking, analytically driven, well-regarded organization in that sense. They moved on not only from Mike Zimmer, but from Erik Kendricks. Okay, now I'm not trying to say like this is, I don't know what the opposite of a kiss of death is. But that, you know, just because the Vikings decided they were not good enough, that, you know, they're trash, and you think more of anything is a good thing. So more of this trash is a good thing.
You're sounding a little arrogant there, but go ahead.
The peak of this duo has not been seen in a long time. And so that's concerning. And to your point, I don't have a problem if you look at Dan Quinn's Commanders as an example. You want to bring in Dorrance Armstrong to serve as another pass rushing option. Yeah, like it's silly to make a big deal about that. But you're bringing in Erik Kendricks to be the heart of your defense. You know, like you're bringing him in to be
not.
He's coming in to be the middle linebacker. He's coming in to be the signal caller. He's coming in to be.
Was Leighton Vander Esch the heart of the defense?
No, but like that's the whole thing, right? Oh, we need somebody who knows the scheme, who knows the defense, who knows this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So like you're bringing him in to give him a significant amount of responsibility.
By your argument, RJ, every free agent's got a problem.
I don't think. I mean, well, there is a lot of people feel that you shouldn't touch free agents because
that's
the old
the problem with the Cowboys, right? Well,
I know
they're not doing that.
The adage there is like they're free agents for a reason, and I don't mean to go that far, but multiple things can be true. Objectively, this is a good signing. I like Erik Kendricks, and he is a really cerebral player. He's akin to Sean Lee in that regard. Probably the most cerebral player they've had since Sean Lee on the defensive side of the ball. Certainly at the linebacker position. The classic linebacker position. So that's great. the process is still really flawed. The toothpaste is not back in the
No,
tube
not
by
at
any
all.
stretch of the imagination. That's really, so you can't sell us like, you can't burst through the door like, I'm back from the hunt. You know,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, here you go. Like
this is
here's
just a
Erik
squirrel.
Kendricks. I mean,
This is just
yeah.
a squirrel. What are we going to eat? And I agree. So I think what the problem is, as you talked about yesterday, and as we continue to see, that we as Cowboy fans are so eager for something. We'll take anything at first bite and go, well, yeah, that's a good start. But I had to wait so long that now I'm already past the good start. I need more. And they've built themselves again into a situation that is just untenable. And compare them to the Texans, who just machine-like did click, 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 click. I mean, it went off like clockwork for those guys.
As you say that, Patrick Peterson is on Good Morning Football this moment, saying that the exact graphic reads, Texans will be the trendy Super Bowl pick in August. That will be, and a conversation I had last year with some friends at SB Nation was this was last season, was who will be next year's Lions. The Lions were like everyone's pick to like kind of come from nowhere and challenge and have a lot of success. And we kicked around different ideas. And my argument and my pick the entire time was the Houston Texans. I very notably picked the Texans to win the AFC South last year. And I got really lucky in that. But that, like, they have all the pieces. They have the head coach that's really young, that everybody likes. They have the GM that's fine. Howie Roseman is an incredible GM for the Philadelphia Eagles. But people forget, and maybe people don't know, that this is his second run as their kind of, decision maker. Chip Kelly came in and banished him effectively and took power away from him, and he was no longer allowed to control the roster. And Nick Caserio has had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Let's not act like he's been some victim, but he's been through it. And you kind of got to give Nick Caserio a big old round of applause, because it seems like he's finally had a chance to implement his vision.
Right.
And it's really, really, really difficult to argue with the results.
And sometimes when you arrive at a place that you literally cannot fall off the floor, and they will allow you to do some things that maybe some other organizations wouldn't allow you to do on your first outing. And he was allowed to swing for the fences and hit remarkably well.
I'm so excited for the Texans. My Texans.
Now, I will say this. I will go into what we're talking with these lofty expectations. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Now they're carrying a bullseye. And before, they were a fun watch. And they were living by the seat of their pants. And last season, no team lived by a hair of, away from disaster more than the Texans. And that might be just a quality that they have that they'll just carry with, because that's just how CJ Stroud lives. But when you live that close to the edge, eventually you fall off now and again. And then you wear the target of being that team that when before it was just the Texans and we'll prep for them because we're playing that other guy next. Now here come the Texans. So there's a little bit more to fight through. And I'm not saying that they're not that good, but they're going to have to be even better than better, if you know what I mean.
There are certainly loftier expectations, and their reputation is larger. And I think the division is really beefed up. In fact, the Jaguars might be the worst team in the division as a result of that.
Crazy?
Well, yeah, especially if Anthony Richardson does return to the form that we saw in the very small sample
Flacco
size.
there, man. Look out, Anthony. Flacco might take your gig.
But you mentioned, the volatility of the Texans season. There's a lot of data to support that. When a team has a really, really impressive record in one possession games, there's always regression to the mean. And so it doesn't always regress to the opposite end of the spectrum, but it regresses generally to the mean. And so maybe, if you go 8-0 in one possession games in a certain season, maybe the next season you're 4-4, but that makes a very significant difference.
And you can be better. You know what I mean? You're a better team and still 4-4.
Right. But football's a game played with an oblong shaped ball, not out of leather. So weird things happen. And as I think an example of that is the 2023 Minnesota Vikings, because in 2022, they were, I think, 11-0 in one possession games. And what happened to them in 2023, besides the injuries, was regression to the mean came for them. And on the subject of the Minnesota Vikings, obviously Mike Zimmer's now a Dallas Cowboy, Erik Kendricks now a Dallas Cowboy. There may be, Rob, another former member of the Minnesota Vikings who could be a Dallas Cowboy in short order.
I think this is worthy of discussion on the other side of the break, because there are crumbs everywhere. And I want to give RJ Ochoa credit for being the sleuth, the Nancy Drew.
Well, I really didn't have to do much work. I was going to say Hardy Boys. I'll explain why.
Well, I was going to say Hardy Boys, but I have absolutely nothing to do with this. So you are the Inspector Clouseau of the morning
Again.
huddle. And for those of us who know what that means, are laughing very quietly to ourselves. Hey, hold on. We do want to talk about this. There might be a running back of note coming around the bend to the Cowboys. We'll see if they are indeed cooking with gas coming up next. This is the morning huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
You know, Shereen, you see Philadelphia making moves with the Saquon Barkley thing. The Commanders have been as active as anybody, the Giants even too. And so you look at that, those teams are going to be better than they were this year.
Maybe. You know, free agency is really overrated. Where it really helps teams, if you have a team that you feel like is close, you get that one player that really puts you over the top. You look at the Chiefs last year, they didn't make a big splash in free agency because they had their core group of players they built around. When you're a really bad team, this is what you do. So that's a sign that you're a really bad team. And just go back and look at the history of free agency and how many of these guys don't work out. And the majority of these guys will not work out on these contracts.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Picture your perfect KFC meal, then picture the perfect price. You're thinking of the $20 taste of KFC meal. Everything you love about KFC in one meal. 6 pieces of original recipe chicken, 4 sides, including creamy mashed potatoes and gravy, sweet corn, fresh coleslaw, and cheesy mac and cheese. And don't forget 4 flaky biscuits. The $20 taste of KFC meal. All your favorites for just $20. KFC, it's finger licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tips, and fees extra.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagel. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail. Who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year? Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
The way the NBA season is going in San Antonio, you need to find a way to add excitement to watching those games. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. The way to do that is by playing at Underdog Fantasy. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app and start playing the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players from at least 2 different teams. Select whether they will be higher or lower on stats, and if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. It is fantasy, but legal in Texas. So download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up, use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rate plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
It is the Morning Huddle. You're on San Antonio Sports Star. Are you watching us live? Are you seeing what's going on?
Are you watching the Morning Huddle Wish Project?
Yeah, I'm so scared right now. Well, come on. We want to make sure you're watching us. And if you are, you get a variety of different camera angles as I stand up to stretch my legs. I wanted to make sure I was on screen to say that is RJ Ochoa, and he is the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. And when you work with guys that are, in like kind of like journalists that look and see things above and beyond what most people see. I love being around those types because they're in tune to stuff, not like Neo seeing numbers fall from the sky. And yesterday there was this whole world of Cowboy fan waiting for something to happen. James Slater, good friend of the show, good friend of the network, good friend, wonderful person, tweeted out something early that kept everybody's attention. And it was essentially something to the effect that, hey, Cowboy fan, wait, there's something going on. There's something cooking. Take it from there.
So, first of all, I want to also say I'm a blogger. I wave that flag very proudly.
Dude, you are a blogger. No, I'm not trying to take away from what you're doing, but
there's a lot of taboo associated with that word. So
not anymore.
I wear it proudly. Anyway, actually, very quickly to sneak this in, the Cowboys did break the seal on free agency on Wednesday, by signing Erik Kendricks. In ESPN's story about this, Rob, they included a line that just kind of snuck in there. It says the Cowboys had a major hole to fill linebacker, blah, blah, and it explains they lost Leighton Vander Esch during the season. And then it notes Vander Esch is expected to retire in the coming weeks. That's the first time that this has been formally said by anybody.
Oh, really?
So
I just kind of assumed, but okay.
Well, it has been a general assumption, but again, now there is at least that. But
Okay.
So put that on the back burner for now. So again, Jane Slater's the best. She's the GOAT. And she tweeted out yesterday. She even had some fun with this and on NFL Network because she noted that the Cowboys, she actually added on to Ian Rappaport's report that the Dallas Cowboys were connected to free agent running back A.J. Dillon. Cowboys obviously need a running back right now. And Jane is really earnest and really kind, and so she tweeted out, and it just got dragged into oblivion because nobody wants A.J. Dillon. And so she had some fun on NFL Network. She read actually some of the responses she got to the idea, and these were people having problems with A.J. Dillon, not with Jane. And so, she said, hey, look, the Cowboys are working on something, this and that. And this is me completely reading into something.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm normally down on the conspiracy
I want to be
theories.
very clear about this. But so Jane tweeted out on Wednesday, nothing to report on any extension here in Dallas. And while I was told something could be cooking with A.J. Dillon, pot may have made it in the stove, but water isn't even boiling. And I didn't really think of anything of this at the moment. But so then the Cowboys got in on Erik Kendricks and everybody celebrated, blah, blah. And actually this happened on Wednesday night in our station group text. Somebody sent these tweets from what they thought were Tyron Smith. And they asked me, they said, is this really Tyron? And because he was saying he wanted to return to the Cowboys. And I said, no, that's a fake account. I can't believe y'all fell for this. Y'all are a bunch of dummies. And we kind of had a good laugh. Right as I saw that, I opened her myself. And I saw, I'd gotten a couple of new followers, and I was looking through it. And lo and behold, Dalvin Cook followed me on Twitter. Okay, well, maybe this is a fake Dalvin Cook. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to kind of impersonate somebody nowadays, which had literally just happened at that moment, obviously, with the Tyron Smith thing. This is the real Dalvin Cook who followed me on Twitter. All right? Okay. So, hold up. So, let me look at Dalvin Cook a little bit here, because this is a little bit interesting now. So Dalvin Cook is apparently, and I appreciate him including me in this mix. Dalvin Cook has followed a handful of Dallas Cowboys people. He's followed a handful of Dallas Cowboys content creators. Interestingly, they all care about the same team, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. And this is kind of an old school thing. This doesn't really happen anymore. But if you go to Dalvin Cook's liked tweets, Rob, the second most recent one is from Jane. And that tweet reads, let the Cowboys cook. I have reason to believe they are baking up something in the kitchen right now, which was an entirely different tweet than the one I first read, but also, a play on the cooking terminology. The most recent tweet that Dalvin Cook has liked is from our buddy Michael Gelkin. Cowboys have been in contact today with former Chargers linebacker Erik Kendricks, who Dalvin was a teammate of with the Minnesota Vikings. Rather than join the 49ers, he's expected to join the Cowboys. He reunites with Mike Zimmer. So, we have all of the cooking parlance from Jane. We have the liked tweets from Dalvin. We have the fact that he has followed several Dallas Cowboys content creators, yours truly included. We also have the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have been known to, throw out something that they don't have any intention of doing, only to bring in something that was made better by the presentation of the idea that they had no idea of actually pursuing, like Mike Zimmer. Hey, we're going to go get Rex Ryan. What? Oh, we're going to get Mike Zimmer instead. Oh, thank God. He's so much better than Rex Ryan. So you're going to go get A.J. Dillon? What? No, just kidding. We're going to get Dalvin Cook. Oh, Dalvin Cook rocks. He's so much better than A.J. Dillon. There we go. Tinfoil, your thoughts.
First of all, I've got the black hat on. My conspiracy cap I have on.
Okay.
It helps me think. It helps me focus. I've lined it with tinfoil, and it kind of focuses the thoughts. You always hear in the legal world that a circumstantial case is a frightening thing to have to try to prove. But in a lot of times, a circumstantial case is an easier thing to prove toward preponderance of guilt or guilt than it is even with eyewitnesses, because eyewitnesses can be wrong. But if you can put somebody at a certain place at a certain time doing a certain thing while something else certainly happened, you can kind of start saying, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And you can infer all the way across. And everything that you just brought out individually is kind of a thing. But once you start putting the pieces on the table, RJ, I'm in. I will be shocked if at the very least we don't hear in the next 12 hours today that an offer was made.
So
that something was out, that the Cowboys are trying to bring in Dalvin Cook. The ball is in his court.
Now, a couple things here.
Now, that's another question mark, Marco.
The most difficult thing to prove with regards to my conspiracy theory here is that the Cowboys leaked A.J. Dillon as as a front. But hang on, I literally 30 seconds ago have somebody who tweeted at me and said I would take Cook over Dylan. Again, like that's exactly why the Cowboys did it.
When you first brought that up, and so RJ's premise was, and he's basing it off history. When we'll go back to the Rex Ryan, Mike Zimmer kind of stuff. When the Cowboys, either intentionally or just by status, leaked that they talked to somebody that is someone that no one would want, and then they go, well. Sorry, not that guy. Here's the guy we're talking about. And no matter who it was,
we're really smart
in comparison,
for not going. Yeah, we're really smart for going after this guy instead.
So
you know what I mean? And there are people who buy it, and there are people who say that. Like again, I literally just had that tweet. Like, oh, I would much rather have Dalvin Cook
and
than
on
AJ
its
Dillon.
own, RJ. When you told me that, I go, I wish they were smart enough. I'm not sure it's in them. So I think they blunder into these situations. I wish they were smart enough. But when you see it happen over and over, you start putting on your black hat and you put the yarn string and you go, they've done it before. They're doing it again. They're going to get Dalvin Cook.
So Marco Mendez says in the Brigade Bar, at what price would Cook be worth it? Wouldn't it be better to go get a running back in the draft?
When? With what picks
career?
And what back?
I guarantee you that they will draft a running back. Part of Jane's reporting on Wednesday was that the Cowboys want to recreate what they had with Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard. They want to have like kind of a thumper and a lightning quick player. And Dalvin Cook, I presume, would be that thumper, just because he's not the player he once was. But they want a veteran and a rookie. That's the pair that they're looking for here. So Dalvin Cook, gets them halfway there. So I'll be straight up with you, as I always am here. I have a pre-write ready for this at Blogging the Boys. The moment they started to happen, I got right. So in doing some research to kind of put in the hype, potential article, I uncovered something that Bill Barnwell wrote in November. This past November, he took a look at last year's offseason running back, kind of storylines and projected into this offseason that we're currently at. And he looked at Dalvin Cook. Here's what he said, and I'm going to kind of skim through this here. Offensive line injuries haven't helped. He was talking about Cook, with the New York Jets at the time, obviously. And Cook joined that team, thinking he was jumping on, the Jets bandwagon, and Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and that didn't work out. But anyway, Cooks has dealt with blah, blah. Breece Hall's been better, et cetera, et cetera. Cook suggested he was interested in a fresh start after being dropped to third on the running back depth chart, but the structure of his deal made it difficult to find a trade partner, blah, blah, blah. The Jets ultimately would go on and cut him. This is what Barnwell wrote at the very end. What could happen in 2024? That's where we're at. It would be a surprise if Cook landed any sort of significant guarantee to sign with a new team. He's probably looking at one-year deals with partial guarantees to play somewhere next season. Now, Dalvin did latch on with the Baltimore Ravens for their playoff run against my Houston Texans. He had a promising game in the divisional round, the win that they had. In that game, Rob, he carried the ball 8 times for 23 yards, although one of those carries went for 19 yards. So all told, last year with the Jets, 67 carries, 214 yards, a career low 3.2 yards per carry.
Yeah, he did nothing last year. Last year was a bye week. I don't know how to quantify what he's got, but he didn't use any of it last year. We're going to continue talking Cowboys. Dalvin Cook very well might be a Dallas Cowboy by the clues that have been laid. The Texans continue to kick it, and we'll look at the tourney. It's here, and that's next. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Time is running out. We're almost sold out. Are you playing at the Golf Club of Texas? Get on it with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Sierra Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation, Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
San Antonians love a good party, and the Valero Texas Open is one you don't want to miss. Enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. So buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 4th through the 7th.
Do you have failing or missing teeth? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctor's Implants.
I had missing teeth, I had crowns, I had partials.
There was no way I was going to walk into my bathroom every morning to see my teeth in a container.
At Doctor's Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants might be the long-term solution you're looking for.
The 6-Hour Smile is a permanent full mouth teeth replacement. Your new smile will be custom designed to fit your face and lifestyle and will look and function just like regular teeth. You won't need to remove them from your mouth overnight, and you won't need adhesive to keep them in place. Eat freely and smile confidently again. Research them at doctorsimplants.com. Receive a complimentary doctor's consultation and CT scan when you call 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
Home of the 6-Hour Smile.
Former pro football is a go to Diamonds Direct.
It's very simple and very easy process for a guy to go in there and not be overwhelmed.
Mitch found Diamonds Direct and has been back many times buying jewelry for his wife, Brooke, and he's never felt any pressure.
They're going to educate you about what you're looking for, what the diamonds are, how the process works.
At Diamonds Direct, we respect both you and your budget.
I think everyone's kind of searching for value. You don't want to be taken advantage of, and Diamonds Direct is leading in that regard. You're going to feel really comfortable there. You're going to have a good time. You're going to find something that looks amazing and that you're going to get the best value for it.
So if you're worried about getting sweaty palms when you walk into a jewelry store, relax. Take Mitch's advice and enjoy the experience at Diamonds Direct.
We have definitely recommended Diamonds Direct to friends, to other teammates. Everyone else who has been through there has had as awesome an experience as we have.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get directions, showroom hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Puro San Antonio football is back at the Alamo Dome. Join the herd and watch your Brahmas in the best seats at the best prices. Single, season, and group tickets are available now. Don't miss any Brahmas action this season, led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips. The Brahmas kick off the season March 31st against the DC Defenders in the Alamo Dome. Let's pack the Dome. Experience the excitement. Head to theufl.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Find what you love, love what you find. A total wine and more. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe. Happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Let's go! Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Of pi. 3.14159. This is pi followed by 2653589. Circumference over diameter 79. Then 3. OMG, can't you see? 846.
Good to be a nerd. National Pie Day. Enjoy your cherry, your banana meringue. Name the pie, RJ, that will be celebrated on Albert Einstein's favorite day.
Pecan.
Pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
I I'm with you. I like a good pecan. Although my wife's chocolate pie is just about as good as it gets. Hey, his name is Shed. He plays for Houston. Jamal Shed is a heck of a basketball player. The University of Houston charged into the Big 12 and went and won the whole damn thing. They won the Big 12 their first year. Now, you don't see that very often. Only time it's been done in the history of basketball has been 2 other times. Arkansas joined the SEC back in 91-92 and very promptly won the tournament with 40 minutes of hell. And prior to that, 2019-21, Idaho joined the Pacific Coast Conference and quickly kicked California's ass in basketball. Congratulations, Houston. The tournament begins today in the Big 12. Lots of games all day long. Make sure you're dialed in with us. We'll make sure you get the scores, the updates required, either on the air or on the digital side at sasportstar.com. We got so much to do and 3 hours to do it, so we'll pace ourselves appropriately. Coming back, hey, let's talk about that tournament. It's a good old time to be there. The silver and black is next as we look directly at them Spurs as they're going up to Austin to hang around with our weird uncles. We'll be right back. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Your home for the Cowboys.
Prescott all the way, runs it in for the touchdown.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. To move closer to family, live within a smaller budget, or just wanting a change of scenery. Whatever your reasons, having to figure out all the various housing market trends in your area may not be what you signed up for. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in. Realtors have the expertise to help you find the right price and navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. That's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And with My Lowe's Rewards, your savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers and earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our new loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment can clean your system and help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, you can get 2 bottles for only $9.99. A great deal to help you go a great deal farther. Find Lucas Complete Fuel Treatment and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any one of our 6,300 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Lowe's, pros save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 230 or more select James Hardie fiber cement siding panels. And there's more. Save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text ENERGY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text ENERGY to 200-300 right now. Text the word ENERGY to 200-300. Don't wait, text ENERGY to 200-300.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100% feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys have joined the free agent market and signed Erik Kendricks, who had previously agreed to a deal with the 49ers. Kendricks coming off a year with the Chargers and several previous with the Vikings, so long, in fact, that Mike Zimmer, his new DC, drafted him. The Houston Texans stayed busy. Sheldon Rankins is now a former Texan. He signed with the Cincinnati Bengals.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Wembanyama goes behind the back here. Oh, little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama.
Oh, it's knocked away by Wembanyama.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Gather around the dude in the black hat. We got something to talk about. This is the Morning Huddle. That's RJ Ochoa. I'm Rob Thompson, Easy E, trying to keep us on the rail for 3 more hours. In doing so, if we do things correctly, we're going to talk to you about them Spurs here for the next 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to delve back into the NFL as the Cowboys finally jumped into the free agency market, signed themselves a linebacker. I wonder if he gets to wear number 6. Is that the number he wore with the Chargers?
It is the number that he wore with the Chargers. That's a cool number.
Let him wear 6.
Well, Dallas Cowboys punter Chris Jones. Not Chris Jones. Goodness gracious. Brian Anger. What is Brian Anger wears number 5?
See, I don't know. What did Donovan Mitchell wear?
Donovan, you're right. Donovan Wilson.
Mitchell wears Donovan Wilson wears
Spider. Donovan Wilson. Hullabaloo, baby, wears number 6.
I think they have to thumb wrestle for it. The loser gets to makes the winner. Whoever gets 6 has to donate $10,000 to the loser's charity. How's that?
Well, Erik Kendricks in Minnesota wore number 54.
Oh, you can't wear that one. That one's taken.
Well, Sam Williams has that anyway. So. I don't know.
Well, number might be
one
available
is
sooner than later.
I bet he goes number 1. We'll see.
We will see. But first and foremost, we're sending our Spurs off to summer camp, off to spring break camp. As we're sending our kids up north to Austin for South by Southwest. And that alone is a scary proposition to any parent who's sending their kid off to Austin for any reason, either to go to some weird liberal arts school or to party on Guadalupe and 6th Street. They're going to Austin, and all the weirdness that ensues. I got this email from the Spurs PR. They're having a free concert tonight up there in Austin.
Is it Radiohead?
You know what? I bet Radiohead might be Pop's favorite band. Would that not be ideal? Radiohead?
It would, in a lot of ways. So, yeah, but that won't be happening.
Sign up. If you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. Look how the high quality gear that might await you if we see you on March the 25th.
March the 25th, Rob will be there with a club in his hand.
That's how I will. And so will you. And wearing that fancy shirt. I'm consistently impressed with your country club attire.
Do you know what brand this is? I think my dad bought me this polo, but
it is
the name of this
Hager.
You're gonna love this. This brand is literally called "You Suck at Golf."
Oh, I know that brand. Yeah,
Yeah.
You Suck at Golf. They're social media. They got good shirts.
Yeah. So yeah, but
I like that because it's got the crispy collar, the stiffer collar.
Ooh, I like this question from Goldfinger123. RJ, are the Spurs going to come back sober, or are they going to come back to San Antonio drunk?
Here's my worry, and in a broader sense, I think that is a valid question to ask.
Well, I think I've told the story recently because it is spring break about SBX, Spring Break 2010. Went with my my fellow Ags to South Padre Island, and I actually went home for a few days after, and I got a henna tattoo, which is a fake tattoo for anyone who's unaware. It's temporary. It's like, I don't know, like 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever. And when I walked in the door, I said, "Mom, heads up."
Oh, see, you did it wrong.
No, you say that, but one time for April Fools, I tried to trick my parents. I don't think I've ever told you this before. I tried to trick them and tell them that I got casted to be on The Real World because I thought that would really upset them. And they were both all, "Oh my gosh, we're so proud of you." And I was like, "Oh man, like you ruined this." Like, so yeah, I wasn't kind of feeling the henna tattoo play at that point. But anyway,
I had a tattoo from my parents for about 5 years.
Good for you.
Yeah,
mine was on my back, and I was wearing a tank top because it was
Yeah.
spring break. Woo! But anyway, I think that's what the Spurs are coming back with. They're coming back with a henna tattoo, something that represents their time there, but that is temporary and will fade throughout time.
As we start looking toward the future, and we obviously have to, the Spurs have been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. It cannot happen no matter what they do. And as we start counting down the regular season games, we know the bare minimum for teams or for players to receive their just desserts is 65 games. And we know that Victor's getting closer and closer to that. So when you start thinking of the future, you start looking, draft picks, things that are going on in the outside world. And the president of basketball operations, the guy that's over everything in the building, not the COO, but the guy that's running the day-to-day, the president, had an opportunity to speak to the press. And this question was asked of the president of the San Antonio Spurs. This is his response.
We all have opinions every day. Coaches meet every day and we talk about that sort of thing along with everything else. So when the season ends, obviously we'll sit down, with management and have that discussion. But whether it's a young team or an older team, every team has that discussion. There are changes made every year. So that just goes with the territory.
So as we come to the end of the season, decisions are going to have to start being made. First and foremost, I think, as Victor sits and, we put him on the shelf, bubble wrap him, there'll be somebody that steps up, and that'll kind of be a signification of this guy might make it, might not. But I think as we head toward the last quarter of the season, head through that, I think this is going to be one of the primary things to follow.
Yeah, it's I'm not, this is, people talk about the stages of grief. I don't know where I'm at in my stages of the Spurs. It's so strange that they have the ability to rope us in so quickly because we're so eager to buy in, right? We're so anxious to say, all right, this is it. It happened. It worked. Kudos. Great. Awesome job. you did it, you pulled it off, we did it, we arrived. But then, games like the last couple happen, and you kind of come back down to earth. The clock hits midnight, and you remember that this is kind of a pumpkin. And so, I don't know. I know it's a fun week with for them and with some fun energy because of the whole Austin experience and whatnot. And it just feels like this week doesn't feel so much, and things haven't lately felt so much about the basketball of it all, as opposed to like the
event of it all.
Right. And we're so like, even normally this season, we've been so concerned with the like future of it all that it's hard to focus on the actual basketball game to game because we're future planning. You know what I mean? Like nothing about the moment really matters.
Okay. So as we evaluate, there's also a draft process. And as we begin the tournament, there's guys that need to, oh man, and there's guys to be watching. I mean, the Spurs have 2 top 10 picks, maybe only one, depending on how things shake out with Toronto. But here they stand. There's talent to be harvested, and this again is the president of the Spurs organization.
I don't pretend to know, what we're going to do. We have a lot of possibilities ahead of us, whether it's money in the bank or draft picks, being creative, trade-wise, all those things are on the table. But aren't they for every team? I don't know why we're any different. We're just younger.
They don't know what they're going to do.
What do you mean you don't know why you're any different? I mean, and I understand
all of that just was galling to me.
I understand keeping cards close to the vest. I understand you've got to say things. I understand you've got to go, especially this week, you're going to go through a lot of media. You're going to go through a lot of, discussions or panels, or by Southwest calls them, festivals or whatever.
It's a panel.
But right. But, and so like, I'm not expecting you to come out here and tell us like the whole plan or any real part of the plan, but when nobody is buying this, and I don't say that disrespectfully. I mean, but to claim like, I don't know why we're different. I don't know why everyone is so.
Why are you looking at us?
Yeah, like why is there so much attention on us right now? This is a normal thing for us. We're in the middle of a normal run. Let's relax. Like we're all adults here. You know what I mean? We can all kind of be straight up about this. So every now and then it'd be nice to have a little bit more kind of give in that sense.
You can't. And on the other side, notice on the first cut, Pop came and said, well, we're going to sit down with management. Dude, you are management. What do you mean we're going to sit? You can't be the good and the bad cop as the head coach. And the really, most coaches can only survive in the situation they're in as the bad cop. You have to be absolutely, completely honest in everything you say to your players. Because not only are you in charge of their day-to-day, their playing time, you're also at the end of the day in charge of how they're getting paid. And as the coach and the president and the guy that's in between, that's, Brian Wright, yeah, you're GM, sure. And maybe he doesn't delve in too much of the money, but as the guy that has as much say as to the players as he denies having, which he has more than he leads on. Let's not buy the Albert Einstein doddering professor. And I don't know. I was asleep when we drafted Wemby. I wasn't sure who we were going to take. Don't buy that. Don't buy any of that. But as we get to the twilight of his career, maybe there's a little bit too much going on the plate here. If you're telling me you don't have any idea, then I'm going to take you for what you're telling me. But maybe you got too much to do.
Or maybe you're in over your head.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you need a little bit of help. Maybe we should bring in some other mind someplace else to kind of help you along the way, at least in the talent acquisition phase. Because in the last year's draft, when you told me you were asleep on a plane and your son-in-law had to wake you up and tell you who the Spurs drafted, or at least when they won the lottery, you might be too disassociated with the process. Or if you're so involved and you won't let us know, I'd kind of like a little bit of transparency. One or the other. But right now, I don't have a whole lot of faith.
I don't know how you could, again, if you're taking this at face value, right? And if you're not, then it requires a level of assumption that there's some sort of fibbing going on here. I think as we kind of round out Wemby's rookie season, and I know there's still, a significant amount of time to go, but we're on the downward side of this from a time perspective, and we'll get all into the Olympics. You're gonna wear any France gear? You're gonna be a trader, by the way? For the Olympics?
Never, because most of their stuff has a chicken on it.
I'm just making. Oh, okay. We've had a lot of time to reflect and to look back. and compare this to Tim, right? And I think if there's anything that the Spurs really miscalculated, it was the worldwide level of interest in this, and how their every step would be completely and totally picked apart and microanalyzed and microassessed, not just by Spurs fans, but by NBA fans and by, French fans, right? Just because of the accessibility to information that exists that didn't the last time they did this. And so you kind of can't do this the exact same way. And it's appropriate, I think, that kind of comes to the center as they go to Austin for like a push on the brand. It's, you've got to be perfect. You have to be perfect. You have to say the perfect things. You have to do the perfect things. You have to walk and talk in an absolutely perfect way, or else, you leave yourself susceptible to all sorts of criticism and judgment.
My sister lives in Austin. She is a total Austinite. Zilker Park. She lives in Zilker Park, can walk to most festivals there at the park. So she's ate up. She's annoying as all get out. Music snob, taco snob, just the worst of every Austin thing you could think of. That's my sister.
But you love her.
Oh, I love her. I mean, don't you say anything about her. But but that's kind of it. And I was talking to her my brother-in-law, as South by South was going on. And while he mentioned something that I thought is very relevant in this day and age, that Austin, even though it's not what it was and it's a little bit more corporate, adds a little bit of cool flavor to the Spurs. It does point out to the rest of the world that we are right next to Austin, which is the hottest place for a lot of things. So it does add a cool quotient in helping and recruiting free agents, knowing that Austin is at least at the very minimum affiliated with the Spurs. It's something that we can say, hey, you come and play for the Spurs. Austin is right there, baby. You want to go see shows. You want to live the nightlife that San Antonio has never been able to offer you. Suddenly Austin offers you a sleek, slick Texas cool that the Spurs don't want, nor do they try to offer. So my brother-in-law brought that up. So while I'm angry with the fact that we're having to share them, I do think there's some benefit for Pop as they do look into free agency and get going there. That being said, I will never like what's going on this week.
It feels
no
weird.
Team has to do this. What other team has to deal with this?
Well, I would equate it to, but this is not an individual team thing. Like when leagues send a game overseas or to an international place, you know what I mean? They send them to a different country to play, like like the Astros are going to play a series in Mexico this year. But I mean, it's to grow the brand of the league. You know what I mean? Not the individual team. So that's the closest thing.
If it was overseas and the NBA came to us and said, you know what, you Spurs fans, you're going to have to sacrifice 4 games a year, and they're going to go play in Paris and Milan. I go, I get it.
To that point, the answer, I guess, if we have to answer your question, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have to do this with London. London is their option.
So we think of what the Spurs are being equated to. This is a multi-title champion team. This is a team that is hosted at the bare minimum 3 of the 25 greatest players to ever lace it up. And it should be 5, but I'll say 3 if we really want to pick. But we'll say 5 of the top 40 players to ever play. The best coach to ever walk the sidelines, arguably. And this is a team that has to farm out a couple of games to grow its brand. And we are the equivalent, after all of these titles, to the Jacksonville Jaguars. At the end of the day, when you put it in those parcels, Austin does matter to the greater world, because with just us, we're Jacksonville. And that sucks. It hurts. It hurts to think about. It hurts to talk about. And every year it's thrown in my face.
It's frustrating. I mean, I don't want to act like completely woe is us, because the proximity, between San Antonio and Austin is fair to note that, the circumstances aren't identical across all professional sports teams. And to that point, I mean, pick the team. Like the Cowboys play in Arlington. They don't play in Dallas. You know what I mean? The Niners play in Santa Clara. They don't play in San Francisco, right? Like those things matter, right? Like, as they are relevant to this conversation. And I agree that, there's a difference between, Austin and, as opposed to if the Spurs played in like Bernie, you know what I mean? Or something like that. Like that would be a little bit more
of a bedroom,
eye for an eye. But so it's not like the most egregious sin that can be committed in my mind. It's not fun. I agree with you, but while I think the Jaguars are the most notable comp, at the very least, the like tax here is, no pun intended, because of what may be involved with the city of Austin. But the tax here is like, oh, you got to drive like an hour, as opposed to, like, imagine if you're the Jaguars and you're a season ticket holder or whatever. It's like, hey, we're going to take one game and one of, by the way, 8 or 9 games, and we're going to put it in London. There's a bit of a difference. It's a much more difficult
we're
pill to
promoting
swallow.
the brand, and the Spurs are the beneficiary of that. Here, it appears that we being Spurs are just in a situation where San Antonio isn't enough. And you're consistently reminded of it every year that, oh, by the way, in March and April, when things are really going to start mattering here in a couple years, these games that we're going to miss are going to have playoff implications in a year or two. It's not going to be just a throwaway game against Brooklyn that we really wouldn't have cared about anyway. It's going to matter. There'll be games that we can't wait to see that are going to be highlighted because they're going to spend some time in Austin or Mexico City, because we, as a brand, in the eyes of our ownership, which encompasses a fair amount of Austin and zip codes, aren't enough. And it's thrown in my face every year. And forgive the inferiority complex when you continue to tell us, oh, no, we're staying here. But man, oh, man, did you know we're having a free concert? And we painted this mural this week. And we're going to take everybody involved to ice cream. It's like they're going to the ex's camp, and they got a better place over the week. And then they come home to regular old mom and dad, and they have to clean their room. And they're like, this sucks. I want to go back to Austin, and I want to play games and get computers and have everybody love us.
Do you think that computers are exclusive to Austin? I
don't know where that came from.
I was with you all the way up.
I was going to say Atari, but that didn't even work either.
I think a better thing would have been like a drone. Like, they had drones in our hotel.
They had all the
rooms,
cool stuff, and now I got to come home and I got to mow the lawn. Wow, I want to go back up there. That's better there.
I will say, and I'm not trying to be an optimist, but this is probably for the greater good. I think.
See, don't tell me that. See, that's the kind of thing I hate. What do you mean greater? I'm not enough for the greater good. The Spurs.
I'm not
that
saying
played
that you're not
host
enough,
to,
but don't you want Wemby in this era to be a worldwide phenomenon? Like, it has that potential. And if you believe it has that potential, I think you got to be a little open-minded. I'm not saying that you're not, because nobody ever wants to be told they're not open-minded, but you've got to be open-minded to this is in the name of a much greater goal that will impact. You're giving out dimes to make dollars here.
I get what you're saying. It's no
it's
pain,
true.
no gain.
If you rationalize it yourself, it's true.
No, but the thing is, it doesn't have to be true.
You don't need to be selfish and be like, nobody can ever have me. No,
suddenly,
I have to stay here. Stay here and love me. Me.
Well, when this idea was hatched, when this harebrained idea of growing the brand and spending time elsewhere to kind of get more fans, we didn't have Victor. We didn't have
him. But like,
now we got him.
Now
they'll come to us, baby. They're coming to us. They're
I
already
will say, on the subject of like, these will be games that matter. It is kind of a bummer. It's like, okay, they're gonna go play, and you mentioned Brooklyn, like, they're gonna go host, and I obviously use that word very loosely, the world champs. Like, that would be kind of cool to not have to give away. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to take a game, and to your point, like a weird throwaway game, like, oh, like Charlotte's coming to town, cool. You know what I mean? You can have it, but like, it would be kind of cool to see Jokic instead. Oh, Jokic is totally
gonna miss
like a
one
hologram
of the
thing.
MVP's game in our city because they're giving him to Austin. I mean, it's right now it doesn't matter because we're in the toilet, but eventually when these games matter, not only because we want to see a star that will only come to San Antonio once, but a game that will matter, that will have implications far reaching, that we're going to just cede to the guys up north. And by the way, those that are in Austin, this whole week, the Spurs are kind of a sidebar. This is South by Southwest. There's a bunch of nerds. So yeah, we're, I get where they are, but they also have shared interests going on. So the Austinites are kind of like, why now? It's like having an anniversary party on your birthday. Like, well, I've already got a party going on. I don't need another one.
Yeah, you're saying like this is the birthday party on like December 22nd.
Yeah, South by Southwest Austinites is kind of like our fiesta. I mean, these guys shut down for a couple weeks and just go nerd out. And that's just what they've done forever. And for Fiesta, it's kind of like, Scott, you know what we're going to do during Fiesta? We're going to have a pre-DACS celebration too. All at the same time. Like, why? Why are we doing that? And the Austinites are kind of like, why are you doing this now? We'd much rather have you in November. We'd much rather have you in May. So there's that. So not only do we not like it, Austinites are kind of like, well, I got enough going on. I'll squeeze you in.
Yeah, they're like, what time's the game? Because we're going out on the lake.
Wait, I got to go see Fat Boy Slim playing over at the Rocks.
Can you name a Fat Boy Slim song?
Well, I can. Yeah, I can just see Chris walking dancing. That's all. I can't. I wonder if he's coming. Actually,
did you know that Stephen Jones was allegedly at South by Southwest earlier this week?
Well, of course he is. Of course he is. That would, you know what? That's the kind of rumor we need to put crumbs together. Hey, we have a standing rule here on the Huddle. Is if you are sent in by the coach, you get to call the play. What that basically says, if you called, you talk. Gino dialed 656-3776, 656 ESPN, even though we didn't ask. So that tells me this guy's got something to say. Welcome on, Gino. Spurs are in Austin. What do you think?
So I'm originally from Connecticut, and back in the 80s and 90s, the Celtics used to come down and play a 4-game series throughout the year at the Hartford.
Yeah,
Civic
at Hartford.
Center.
I went to a game there. Also a Whalers game.
Yeah, yeah, back in the day. But so, the reason that happened was, back in the day, what I understood was there was ownership that owned part of the Hartford. Assuming that's the same thing that's happening with the Spurs.
Well, we had a buy-in to the Spurs. Yeah, some of the ownership transferred over the last several years that involve, Michael Dell and some of the other big tech dudes that have bought into the Spurs. So there's some impetus behind not only just growing the brand, but, having a home game for some of the owners.
And so what?
Oh, let's get him back on. We lost, he seems to be breaking up. Gino, as soon as he gets back on, I want to continue this conversation because this is a very relevant one with the Celtics back in the day sharing some time in Hartford because the ownership was weird. Can you imagine that today? Can you imagine the Celtics right now with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Kristaps and all these guys going, oh, next week when we're hosting the Lakers, we're going to be playing in the Hartford Civic Center because we're trying to grow the brand. Can you imagine?
I mean, it's when you put it in those terms, obviously it's really, really funny. I mean, I'm trying to think of, maybe the NHL Winter Classic is a little bit like this. You know what I mean? Like
that's the whole league. This is the NBA and our own ownership saying, you know what, San Antonio, you're not enough, man.
I'm trying to make it seem better in my mind because they do take away a game, but again, it's kind of or like the Field of Dreams game, but even then, it's a theme thing. You know what I mean? It's more like it's about the thing more so than it is the teams. Yeah, there's not a real good comp.
I don't like it, and we shouldn't have to enjoy it. I get the reasoning, and you've told us enough why. We understand we're not enough. That there has to be more. That even though we're bigger and keep taking some of those cast-offs that are getting sick of that city, we need them because we're not enough. Tough scene. Your thoughts, we always want to hear them. Get on that brigade bar. It's easy to do. First of all, you got to be watching us on our YouTube feed. You ask, how do you get there? There's a couple ways. You can just go to YouTube and type in a variety of stuff. Try RJ Ochoa. That will pop pretty quick. And you'll see our feeds. And all you to do is subscribe and put a thumb on it and continue to follow us along. A couple things. It's Thursday. I want to warn you early. If you want to win the $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market, which is given away every Thursday at 6, as Jason and Joe look so forward to judging your meat, you got to get that picture in. So you go to sasportstar.com, upload a pic of the meat you grilled, and it always helps with a good recipe because that's all we're chasing. And you'll be catapulted toward a $50 gift card toward Tri-County. That's gold, baby. That matters. What do you got? Anything going on this weekend? You grilling anything?
We'll see. I mean, it's the players, conference tournaments. I mean, there's a lot that needs to be watched with food in hand. So I don't know. I throw some chicken fajitas on. That's kind of what I'm in the mood for. Chicken
Sounds good.
fajitas, some nice simple tacos. Maybe a nice little pico. I'm feeling kind of simplistic right now. That's where I'm at. I don't need to do anything, over the top.
Jerry Jones, Al Davis's ghost, and Peyton Manning walk into a bar. A Dallas Cowboys joke. We got a funnier one. It's actually the Cowboys. They are a walking, talking joke as we sit right now. Let's figure out where they're going as they stumble through the legalized tampering agency era. And by the way, legalized tampering has some illegal activity being discussed around the NFL. Did Saquon get illegally tampered with? Those questions and many more will be answered next if you'll hang around with us. This is the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, players, I'm talking to you. It is here. It is around the corner. All the basketball tourney love can be manifested this week at BetUS.com. Hey, if you're brand new to BetUS.com, I have an offer for you. You see, I've been with BetUS for years. It's the only book I've ever endorsed here on San Antonio Sports Star. I've been here long enough to tell you what they've been through and where they're going. And my goodness, today is better than it's ever been. If you want to join BetUS.com, go there right now. Call 1-800-MY-BETUS or go to BetUS.com. You deposit money, they're going to match it up to 125% 3 separate times. You're bringing crypto, they'll match it up to 200%. What I'm saying is there's no better time to go to BetUS.com and get in on the basketball plays that are coming. Whether you're an NBA type or you've been following college ball or you just have a team you have a thought about, go to BetUS.com and play on their dime. And you got 10% bettors insurance going on right now. I'm telling you, this is the time to play. This is the place to go. It is BetUS.com because what they have happening, you're not going to see anywhere else. Anywhere. 125% deposit match 3 times. I said it. Now go do it. It's BetUS.com. Go start right there. Get your game on. And when you do, I know you're going to be thanking me later.
Time is running out. We're almost sold out. Are you playing at the Golf Club of Texas? Get on it with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Ancira Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation, Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Roo Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
If you've been thinking about buying a new car or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV,
think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Or if you're looking for an import, we have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. Or for your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in-store or online at Ancira.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or apply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text ENERGY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text ENERGY to 200-300 right now. Text the word ENERGY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text ENERGY to 200-300.
Puro San Antonio football is back at the Alamo Dome. Join the herd and watch your Brahmas in the best seats at the best prices. Single, season, and group tickets are available now. Don't miss any Brahmas action this season, led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips. The Brahmas kick off the season March 31st against the DC Defenders in the Alamo Dome. Let's pack the Dome. Experience the excitement. Head to theufl.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Good morning, everybody. Coming up on the Blitz, the NFL free agent. Every team, though, at 4:35. He's writing an unauthorized biography called The Star. He'll join us to talk about that. Hey, Rob, if you do wear shorts to the Roo Pub on Friday, I hope your legs aren't as white as Minix's.
Minix's legs are so pale you can see through them. The morning huddle.
He called
here.
you a liar yesterday. I don't know if you knew this or not.
No, I was unaware of such things. I was defamed.
I was speaking to him yesterday, and when we first started talking, I said, "Hey, so what's the deal with shorts?" And he was like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And I said, "I heard like against your creed to wear shorts to work."
Who Minix said this or Joe?
Minix.
Oh yeah, he doesn't wear shorts to work. Joe does.
He goes, "I wear shorts all the time."
Oh,
and I
he
said,
doesn't.
"Hey, dude, I mean, sounds like you got beef with
I'm
your
not
own
mad
coach."
at him. I'm just stating a
No,
fact.
I mean, y'all are disagreeing here. I mean, so he attests that he wears shorts all the time.
Not to work. Maybe he wears them.
He said he
elsewhere.
wears them to work all the time.
Well, I
Again,
speak like I see him all the time, and I see him at work about once a week, and it's early, and it's been in jeans, and it's been over the winter. So maybe I've overstepped, but I worked with the man long enough. In fact, I will be working with him again tomorrow. We'll see who's in shorts tomorrow, as Jason and I will be getting the band back together for one last show. We'll be doing the old school blitz out at the Roo Pub, as I'll be sitting in for Joe, who will be having a Brazilian butt lift, preparing for the weekend. It was an odd choice for a birthday gift, but he's going to go ahead and
he wears short shorts.
He does.
I wear short shorts.
We loaded up this segment talking about a joke, and it is kind of funny where the Cowboys have gone this week. It's a joke on the Cowboys side of their inactivity. I find it very funny to be in a part of the beehive that is the media following the team that's not doing anything. And all that turns into this perfect mix of innuendo and supposition and anger and guesswork. That goes on here. It's part of the zoo. I was trying to think, is this any different from last year? It's very different from last year, because last year we felt appeased. We felt like there was an owner out there that was, all right, we're close. I'm gonna make deals. I'm gonna go get defensive backs. I'm gonna do everything my defensive coordinator wants to go get a championship. And I felt self-actualized last year. Did you?
So yesterday, the Cowboys officially became the last team in the NFL to sign.
And they got in. But by
Right.
this time last year, there had been business done. And
That's
I
what I'm
felt
saying.
like we were doing something.
It was the second time in 3 years that Dallas was the last team. Because to your point, last year was the exception. 2022, they were the last. The player who broke that seal. Do you have any clue? 2 years ago?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was James Washington, the wide receiver. I don't blame you for not remembering. But anyway, last year they had brought back, more than a long snapper. They brought back Donovan Wilson and Leighton Vander Esch, and there are rumors now on ESPN that he's going to be retiring soon. So obviously we'll see at best to Leighton. But they had also traded for Stephon Gilmore.
That was the move I remember most. Like, oh my goodness, this is an in it to win it kind of move.
And they were on the precipice of trading for Brandon Cooks as well. This has been so over the top that it actually feels spiteful. I don't know if that makes sense. Like this feels almost like Jerry's like, oh, you think we're gonna go all? You think you can hold me to my own words? Oh, I'll show you. You know what I mean? Like, it is so unbelievable. They went so unbelievably long, and they actually still haven't just naturally brought in a free agent. They had to go get somebody who had already agreed to join a different team. You know what I mean? Like it can't be normal.
You know what that tells me, first of all, before we go any further with that thought process? I disagree with that wholeheartedly. What that tells me was they had been talking to Kendricks. The plan was to get Kendricks, but the plan was also telling Kendricks, hey, go out and make your best deal and call us last. That's what it felt like to me. So his agent went out and got the best deal he could, and it was announced by somebody that he was going to the 49ers, and then they called the Cowboys, and the Cowboys lived up to their deal and say, all right, here's your money. That's the thought I got. And if the 49ers had moved faster on day one and didn't get past the comfort level, whatever the Cowboys comfort level one, this would have been a day one signing. But he didn't have his best deal in. That's what that showed me. In my experience, when I hear something's about to happen and then something changes, means there was one more phone call made.
I think that maybe Mike Zimmer just got through to him.
Oh, that might be very well too. But I'm not saying this didn't fall in their lap. This was going to happen. It happened then. Unfortunately, it happened later than it should.
Okay, so that's why they're still a joke, man. Like, and I
don't
want to.
This is humiliating for a Cowboy fan.
I don't want to come in and be purely negative about something that is objectively a good thing. But the one thing that they have done literally took prying away a player that the new defensive coordinator has had for the majority of his career.
No doubt.
So again, that's why I was, not on board as really, and we've talked about this a million times at this point with the Mike Zimmer hire to begin with, right? I was down on it because it felt like all the Cowboys did was hire their friend, right? They didn't really perform an expansive search. They just Zim's free, let's.
But, okay, no, I want you to preface this though with the Zimmer. But who did we think it was going to be before Zimmer?
Well, hang on, because they didn't really perform a search. They floated out Ron Rivera, Mike Zimmer, and then when it was still not enough that Ron Rivera was the fall guy to bring in Zim, they were like, oh man, they don't like Zim. Let's throw out Rex Ryan. Oh yeah, I bet you like Zim now. You know what I mean? But so they barely, when the remote control is kind of out of your reach on the couch, so you put your foot out. You know what I mean? You start to kind of just bring it within range so you can finally reach it, so you don't have to move at all. You don't have to disrupt your own comfort. That's how far they reached to bring in Mike Zimmer. And similarly, the first external free agent who they signed didn't even happen until the evening of the third day of activity, and it was a very similar thing. Now, I think more highly of Erik Kendricks than I do Mike Zimmer, but it was Mike Zimmer. It was an extension of that same sort of nepotism, if you want to call it that, right? It was, oh man, come on, dude, come on, let's just do you have anybody else's phone numbers except for the ones that you all came into the building with? Do you not have the ability to look beyond just the people who you've met before in your life? So this is it's not underwhelming, but the whole process, they are the butt of every joke. I mean, they are getting dragged through the mud, and rightfully so.
Okay, we know who the Cowboys are. We know that they have they have a modus operandi, and you just described one of them. And by the crumbs, by the clues in the Tritter's world, there might be a move afoot for a running back to arrive. And we're going to put this all together for you on the other side of the break. But know this, just like the true meaning of every sentence doesn't happen until after the but, The but, then comma, whatever is said at that point is the true meaning of a sentence. And in this situation, the Cowboys, if you hear a name that you think is weird, the true meaning is the next name mentioned. They did it with Zimmer, with Ryan. Are they doing it right now? We're going to talk about that next with a running back here on the Morning Huddle. We're glad you're with us. This is 94.1, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the NFL free agency period has been rocking. Every team adding some pieces.
We're talking about it on the Blitz starting at 2, but we will talk Cowboys with ESPN's Don Vanetta, who is writing an unauthorized biography on Jerry Jones called The Star. Don Vanetta joined us at 4:35.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Scott, you've got a question about radio stations?
Yes, I do. Back in the 80s, when JD and I guess Bobo were doing radios, why did stations sound so different, like in a car or something? Were they compressed or something like that?
Bob? Cocaine.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The St. Patty's Day parties at the Brew Pub are legendary, and this year it will be the biggest St. Patrick's Day party ever. With the green beer flowing, it will be an all-day party with drink specials, live music with 3 bands on the outdoor stage, and DJs and college hoops inside at both the Brew Pub and Angry Elephant. Sunday, March 17th, starting at 11 a.m. It's an all-day party, and this year is going to be bigger and better than ever before. So plan now for St. Patrick's Day at the Brew Pub and Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. The way the NBA season is going in San Antonio, you need to find a way to add excitement to watching those games. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. The way to do that is by playing it Underdog at Fantasy. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app and start playing the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players from at least 2 different teams. Select whether they will be higher or lower on stats, and if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. It is fantasy, but legal in Texas. So download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up, use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you are a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Nigel, what's up with your hair?
Joel, prices are insane these days. I'm cutting my own hair.
Folks, nobody likes paying high prices. Good news, for a limited time, all quarter moon 14-seer AC systems up to 3 tons are installed in your house for only $69.99. Now is the ideal time to take care of your home at the lowest price of the year.
Joel, I like saving money. I'm an influencer. Everywhere I go, people hand me change and say, bless your heart.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. DACLA 000743458.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
94.1 FM. Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
I'm committing a radio sin and asking for a favor. RJ Ochoa, managing editor, blogging the boys, and co-host right here, has a theory about what's going to happen today, and I believe he's absolutely correct. And we're going to talk about this on the other side of the break, but I don't think we have enough time for you to paint the picture, to draw the inferences, the circumstantial evidence that will lead you to believe that the Dallas Cowboys, if they don't do it today, are very soon to sign a running back of note. I think that we should do that on the other side of the break. Thoughts on that?
I'm fine with that. I'm cool punting it for a moment.
I was just reading in the meantime. This is not a filler. I find this completely random. The NBC announced yesterday that to host the Parisian Olympics, their in-studio trio will be Mike Tirico, who's new sports boy forever. So Mike Tirico.
That's why Mike made the jump,
right,
to do that in Sunday Night Football.
So now he's settling in to be that Mr. Sports Boy to the world. And he will be joined by Peyton Manning, which I get, and Kelly Clarkson.
Is her show on NBC? Do you know? Kelly Clarkson's show?
I don't know. But the NBC, she must be affiliated in some, but Peyton Manning's not affiliated with the NBC. He's with the ESPN.
Her show is on NBC.
So what a show? Like what kind of show? I thought she was
Kelly
a singer.
Clarkson show. It's a talk show, like the talk, the View. I mean, it's a talk show, daily talk show.
Oh, so she's got at least a little bit of experience. I thought they were just pulling a musician out, like, and
No.
is Kelly free?
She's been hosting the show for a long time.
Okay, is she good? I find her interesting. I was when they said it, I thought, well, that's kind of a random choice, but maybe she can pull it off.
Today is March the 14th. Today is season 5, episode 95. So
of
the Kelly Clarkson show.
Oh,
so
she's been doing this for 5 years.
It's been around a minute.
I had no idea. That is
but you are right that Peyton Manning does not have any, at least that we're aware of, contractual affiliation with NBC.
And that's
so
by
that
design.
is an interesting development.
Well, that's by design.
And what is Peyton? I love Peyton, and I actually I'm a little Manninged out with all the stuff.
I love a good half zip.
But what took the Olympics? I mean, like,
hey, he's everybody's neighbor. Peyton Manning is everybody's guy who lives across the street. That's always helpful and nice guy.
He has the absolute authority to do the Manning cast, obviously, because of the subject at hand. But so we're going to have Peyton breaking down.
How many Americans do we know that can talk in depth about the hammer throw?
I mean, again, I don't know, but maybe it's because those hosts generally are they're hosts. They're the interviewers of the athletes, right? Like throughout the.
But they're kind of like they're the pivot point. Now we're going to swing it out to diving and come back and know the heart-wrenching story done by Tom Rinaldi or somebody like him about this story about the swimmer who only has one hand, and then that made it this far. Or then they'll come back to the studio and it'll be heart-rending and heart-wrenching, and then we'll move on to the next. And I guess Kelly will sing a song. and Peyton will swing, Omaha. I can see it, man. It's gonna be good.
Do you think Eli, when he found, he's like, oh, so they want both of us, right? And Peyton was like,
sorry,
it's gonna
Eli.
be me, Mike, and Kelly.
Eli, what you need to do is we've got you a room in Austin, and you need to go mind your nephew, like Fredo in Vegas.
And while y'all are there, catch a Spurs game. You know what I mean? Like all y'all are doing it.
They put it's like Fredo with the Godfather family. He's in Vegas under the protection of Mo Green. Eli, where's Eli? He's in Austin. He's under the protection of Don Sarkeesian.
Hey, don't, while y'all are together, Eli, you and Arch, do not even think about playing NCAA football because it'll distract him. Don't even think about it. Don't do it.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli, and grab that guy Zeke. We might be able to use it. We'll tell you what that means next. You're on the Huddle.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies.
We live in a very individualistic culture. We like to be self-sufficient, and that works fine when things are going well, but not all of life goes well, does it? Sometimes life turns on a dime, and there is not a more lonely feeling than when you go through trouble by yourself, with no one to turn to, no one to help. That's one of the reasons why we need each other, why we need other people. They can listen, they can offer valuable advice, they can offer resources, and they can pick up the slack. But more than anything else, they can be there as a reminder that you're not going it alone. Proverbs refers to that one as a friend who sticks closer than a brother. But here's the thing. The key to not going it alone in your time of adversity is to be there when others are going through their tough times. In other words, you have to be a friend to have a friend, even in the tough times. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, encouraging you to find people who stick to you closer than a brother. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Planning for spring at Lowe's means big savings on outdoor power equipment, and Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Buy one select Ego string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery free. That's up to a $299 value. Power through spring with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Let's listen in on a modern-day marriage proposal. The players lift their smartphones. The young man pledges his true love to the woman of his dreams. She accepts. They exchange kissing emojis. There are some hearts. Very nice. Well, look at this. He's putting his phone down. I don't believe it. He's got a box from Diamonds Direct. Well, now she puts her phone down. Oh, unbelievable. That, folks, shows how special a diamond from Diamonds Direct is. 2 people have put their phones down. He slips the Diamonds Direct diamond on her finger. She kisses him. Human contact, ladies and gentlemen. Who knew a Diamonds Direct diamond was capable of revolutionizing the virtual universe? And look at this. Her phone is ringing and she's still looking at her Diamonds Direct diamond. Oh, what's next? Tweets from actual birds? Amazing things really do happen when you give her a diamond from Diamonds Direct. Come in today and see how we can help you download real emotion. Details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. Your love, our passion.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head, comb it over, wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today, because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to anyone that texts expert to 200-300. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad, because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let Bosley show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text expert to 200-300. That's expert to 200-300.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys jumped into the tampering fray. They signed a free agent. His name's Erik Kendricks. He's a linebacker. Came from the Chargers, was a Viking under Zimmer previously. Texas A&M is expected to hire a brand new athletic director, Trev Alberts, to come from Nebraska, replacing Ross Bjork, who exited for Ohio State. The Longhorns were a one and done in the Big 12 tourney, falling to Kansas State 78-74.
How good do you want to be? From play one to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now.
Hey, gather around. We got something to talk about. It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. A small Friday, a big tourney edition. We're glad you're here with us this morning. A lot to talk about as NFL free agency continues. Big names gone, but lots of names left to be signed. The Cowboys got busy. Spurs are heading to Austin to get a game in tomorrow night there in the pretty Moody Center. And let's see what else we got. College basketball tourney time. We're going to talk about some players to watch as the tourney gets going, and make sure you're updated on all things that are appropriate. We went to break talking about a very specific position with the Cowboys, and that's the running back. They lost Tony Pollard to the Titans. Rico Dowdle is a free agent as well, I believe. And Deuce Vaughn we can't find him. He's standing in the grass. As soon as he steps out, we'll see what he's doing. Until then, Cowboys need a running back. And, before we talked about what we were going to talk about, there was something floating around regarding Zeke, that he might be a boomerang of sorts, kind of like a kid you send off to college and then they come on home. Is there a possibility that Zeke could be a Cowboy? And I'm saying not just like a slight possibility. Where are we at? Like 30%, 10%?
Probably would have said,
You're
I don't know, 49%.
So really? That is a remarkably high value.
Well,
I really thought that was just kind of.
So the timeline of events is important here.
Yeah.
And by the way, Zeke is technically a Cowboy in a financial sense this year because they are carrying dead money for him as a result of the contract that they cut him.
So just on principle, come back and earn it.
Well, they would actually had him on the books, or would have him on the books twice if they brought. Anyway, whatever. The timeline of events. I would say about 24 hours ago, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported that the Cowboys were among the teams connected to free agent running back A.J. Dillon. And everybody was
He's the Green Bay Packer who has had a game or two, but was obviously RB2, almost RB3 there.
I think the proper way to characterize that is he's the other Green Bay Packer.
Yeah.
He's the one that you wanted the other one. You wanted Aaron Jones, who went to Minnesota. And so everyone's freaking out. Everyone is saying how stupid the Cowboys are. Everyone is, just noting the Cowboys can't do anything right and whatever. And it started to dawn on me right as we wrapped the show yesterday that this is kind of right out of their playbook.
It feels like it. And you convinced me of this.
The Cowboys love to throw out a distraction. They love, and not even a distraction, but a distraction that they know you and me will hate. They did it with Ron Rivera and Rex Ryan as options for defensive coordinator, and they were very smart about this because they know how to manage this. They threw out Ron Rivera. What are you doing? This is horrible. This is dumb. They throw out Mike Zimmer. Oh my gosh, this is barely any better. I can't believe this is all you're doing here. Well, actually, we're going to interview Rex Ryan. Oh my God, go back to Zimmer, please. Just give us Mike Zimmer. And then they do it, and there's a large sector of people who, as a result of the process, convince themselves that this was a genius idea. So this felt kind of like that to me, the A.J. Dillon thing, because there's no real evidence to support that this is a logical move for them. And NFL Network's Jane Slater, a friend of the station, had some tweets yesterday where she was saying, I think the Cowboys are cooking something up. I think the Cowboys are in the kitchen. She had a GIF that was from WandaVision. I don't know if you watched that show.
It got confusing, but yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, and a GIF of her, of Wanda in the kitchen with like all the pots and pans
spinning around her head.
And she was kind of, and I hadn't really noticed this, she was kind of leaning into the like cooking parlance, cooking, baking, in the kitchen, whatever. And I thought it was just like, let them cook type thing. You know what I mean? Because, that's an expression that people use. So last night, I'm minding my own business. I'm just kind of getting ready to watch Survivor. Did you catch up? No. Anyway,
no, but it is recorded. I do promise to watch at a future date.
That means nothing to me at this point in time. Your words are
It's going to be all you get, and you're going to like it.
Nothing but a liar. So as I'm doing that, I get a text from our station group text, and Joe Ryan goes like, is this text, is this tweet real from Tyron Smith? And I'm like, no, Joe, it's not real. Get a grip. Come back down to earth. There was this fake Tyron account going on on Twitter, whatever. And right as that happened, I was checking my notifications, and I saw I had some new followers, and I always check them out to see who they are. And I saw Dalvin Cook followed me, and I thought that's interesting. So I checked it out, make sure this isn't another fake Tyron Smith, situation. It's the real Dalvin, not paid verification badge. Like, it's the real Dalvin Cook.
How do you verify that? Just by history? Just by
vibe and looking at it and assessing it. And then I noticed, and he's followed by like NFL Total Access and all sorts of insiders. Right? Like, this is a real dude. So then I looked at his follows, because this kind of thing has happened before in the past, if I'm being honest. And he's followed not just me, but a handful of other Cowboys content creators.
You think he's judging the water, sticking his toe in to see what everybody's thinking?
Why would you be following some Cowboys content creators? And then I went and looked at his liked tweets, because once upon a time, that used to be a way you could kind of, discern information. And he liked a tweet from Jane Slater that I had forgotten about the exact parlance of, let the Cowboys cook. I have reason to believe they are baking up something in the kitchen right now. I love Jane, and she's great. I think this is Jane,
That's not obvious.
Yeah, and so then I kind of pieced the whole thing together, Jane's tweets, the following of me and other content creators, and the distraction of A.J. Dillon, because this would be underwhelming, this Dalvin Cook thing. But it would be more overwhelming, I guess, than A.J. Dillon. It would be properly whelming, I suppose, relative to A.J. Dillon. So in my mind, what I think has happened here over the course of the last 24 hours is the Cowboys decided they wanted to sign Dalvin Cook. They knew that they would get roasted for this, so they threw out A.J. Dillon. Then they brought in Erik Kendricks first, so we could kind of celebrate and sing their songs. Then all day long, everyone's saying like, okay, I'm glad we got Erik Kendricks. Now we just need a running back, and anybody but A.J. Dillon. And of course, it's somebody who Mike Zimmer knows, who began the whole process of the strategy being unfolded in plain sight in front of everybody. It all is coming full circle for us.
I'm just trying to come up with.
I would bet that Dalvin Cook will be a Dallas Cowboy by the end of the day.
You know what, RJ? This is one of those things when circumstantial evidence is better than actual eyewitness. I would believe this more than if somebody said, I saw Dalvin Cook walk into the Stars back door. No, I wouldn't believe that. But if someone, when you put it together, only thing I'm mad about is this whole thing is she could have been better with the wordplay.
Okay, hold up. I mean, the wordplay was fine with me.
I
I want to ask you a different question.
Cooking,
Okay.
that's too easy.
Okay, so-
Like,
so
maybe we're Dalvin into the pool, or let's
I
go to
have two
SeaWorld
things-
for the Dalvin show. Or,
I have
we
two
could have done
things that
better.
I want to ask you.
Okay.
Two things. So
Let's delve
one,
into it.
Do you agree that Dalvin Cook, based on the whole story, that Dalvin Cook will be a Dallas Cowboy by the end of the day?
You know what,
or
RJ, I
imminently?
do. I absolutely believe that the breadcrumbs are, but I will, yes, I believe if everything happens according to the way the Cowboys want it to happen, that he will be a Dallas Cowboy.
You agree with that. The other thing I want to know whether you agree with or not is whether the A.J. Dillon thing was real, there was real legitimate interest in him, or if the A.J. Dillon thing was a precursor to take the brunt of the blame so that Dalvin Cook would be the ultimate kind of beneficiary of it all.
You know how hard it is for me to give you two in a row? You know how hard it is for me to admit to the fact that
I
have.
think the idea that Dalvin's going to be a Cowboy is easy to agree with. I think
It
there's
is
enough
easy,
circumstantial
yes.
evidence to agree with
Now,
that.
on the
I do
other
think it
premise-
requires a bigger leap to say that the A.J. Dillon thing was manufactured.
Because I don't want to give them too much credit for something that is brilliant. And
I don't think it's brilliant. at
Oh,
all.
it was the
It's
first
incredibly-
time. Once you
I'm
do
not
it
a brilliant
again-
person, and I can see through this.
No,
I
once
mean,
you do
like-
it again, it's no longer brilliant. But the very idea that somebody's sitting up there, and you and I both know who's in that room, and one of those guys said, "You know what? I got a plan. Let's throw out Rex Ryan, just to stir him up, and then we'll go ahead and announce who it is." And,
I don't,
and
but
that,
see, it's
I don't
it's not
know if they had it
brilliant.
in
Like,
them. I don't think they had it in them.
This is classic. This is literally them like going, let's run the old rope-a-dope. You
Well,
know what I
that's
mean?
what I'm
Like,
saying. Like, let's consult the book of PR. Let's go to chapter 3. How do we announce bad news and make it sound like good news? Well, make it sound worse than it is, and then come up like, we got bad news, terrible news from the doctor. We'll be coming back, and we can tell you what it's not next. You're like, what? And then they can, well, it's not cancer, but you do in fact have to have major surgery. You're like, whoa, thank God it's only major surgery. So
I mean, like, I thought the Dillon thing, because I thought the Dillon thing was a precursor before all the Dalvin stuff happened, and I thought the Dillon thing, or the Dillon thing, Dillon and Dalvin are way too close together. By the way, I thought
Very
the Dillon
much.
thing was a precursor to bringing Zeke back, because I thought for bringing Zeke back. All right,
Can we take it one step? Keep going. I think we're going down the same road here.
So I thought this was a precursor to that, but I will give them, I guess, credit for not bringing Zeke back, and that this is the Cowboys are running. And if anyone has listened to this show before, they know how I feel about this. This is run like the way EA builds Madden. Like EA will reinsert a feature of Madden that existed a long time ago
stick,
that they
coming
took
back.
away. Yeah, and they'll act like, hey, give us some credit. We're putting mini games back in the game, and you'll like again, everyone. It's like everyone fell all over themselves. Like, oh man, every FBS school is going to be in the game. You mean the college football game is going to have all the college football teams? And so like. This is that. This is them going, oh, dude, you have no idea. They could have signed A.J. Dillon. They're bringing in Dalvin Cook.
Okay.
And there are lots of people who will fall for this.
Now let's take away all the ceremony and how we got here. If it does in fact become Dalvin Cook, which I am on board. I believe it's going to happen. If I think the Cowboys are doing everything they can to make it happen. Are we excited about Dalvin Cook? It's not like this guy's been. I mean, now when we get to brass tacks, this guy 2 years ago, when he was getting spelled by the other guy that looked just like him in Minnesota, I liked him. Alexander, what was the guy that backed him up that looked Alexander Madison? I'm not sure which one of those I liked, but they looked alike, and I liked them both. So we'll take that. That's not last year. He couldn't even get on the field with the Jets.
Look, I'm not going to tweet about this because he follows me, but I mean, like, I'm not excited about this at all. I mean, and I suppose, if you're trying to cope and you tell me you draft somebody, whatever, but like what I'm bothered about is the process of it all.
Right.
Because you are, painting a red bullseye, flashing a neon sign around. We're going to draft a running back. We're going to draft a running back. We're going to draft a running back. Like, dude, you are really doing this in a broken way. I mean, you were doing this in the least efficient, in the messiest, in the most bumbling, stumbling possible fashion. And it is impressive how poorly they are walking this walk. I mean, they have made it as difficult as it could conceivably have been, and it doesn't have to be that way, including the just pursuing of the player. Why not just sign the player? Why not have the balls to do that instead of throwing out AJ Dillon as some sort of dude to take? Poor AJ Dillon did nothing wrong. I mean, and everybody hates him. He was trending on Twitter for being trash. Meanwhile, Dalvin Cook gets to come in and soak up the energy as a result of it all.
AJ Dillon is exactly where he needs to be. He is being spoken of in the manner of which we should be speaking.
For the coping that is going to happen, that people are going to, that there is going to be a million plays of Dalvin Cook's 19-yard run in the playoffs against the Texans.
Well, coming up, we're going to delve in to the San Antonio Spurs.
Why did we have to do that?
Because they might have something cooking up there in Austin.
Oh, okay. I'm fine delving in up there. All right.
We're going to delve in to something cooking up there in Austin. That was as bad as it gets. Are we worried that as the Spurs go up to Austin, we're going to miss some of their best basketball, as we feel like this long road stand might be the summation of the season with Victor's involvement? Are we ready to wave goodbye? And what do we expect in the near future? There's going to be massive cuts, and Pop's going to be involved with it. We're going to hear from him his thoughts on what's going to happen this summer and what we expect out of the rest of this road trip. Let's talk some silver and black next. And sticking with the hoops, it's tourney time, baby. They're playing all across this great country, lots of great games. We're going to give you some eyeballs, some things to look at as Spurs fans, maybe some players to go look at that might be available to this non-playoff bound Spurs team. Hold on, we got a lot to do right here on 94.1. This is San Antonio Sports Star. You know, as you wake up on a Thursday morning looking forward to a full weekend of fun, I hope something's not hurting you, keeping you out of what you need to get done. If it is, you know, you don't have to live with it. You can get it fixed. Arasti is here to do it. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio with one job in mind: to get you fixed and out of pain. They're already highly trained medical professionals even before they achieve the Arasti certification. It is a certification that requires months and months of training, even for those that are already certified professionals. So what does that mean to you? Well, they take care of pain in a very unique way. It has nothing to do with pills. It's not about surgery. It's your body fixing itself. And let me tell you, it works. It worked for me and thousands of others like me. And on average, under 4 visits gets most of their players back in the game. And when I'm talking players, I'm talking patients. So if you're looking for a fix, they're all around you. Go to Arasti.com. There's a map of providers there, or you can dial them right now knowing you don't need a referral. The number is 1-800-404-6050. The website is Arasti.com. I don't care what's been bothering you and for how long it has. You owe it to yourself to get back in the game. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call Arasti today. Let them get to work, and before you know it, you'll be back in the game and thanking me later.
It's coming. It's almost here.
A 15 seed will head to the Elite Eights.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is your home for college basketball's national championship.
On their way to their 12th national title game.
68 teams, Sweet 16, Elite 8, the Final Four. One winner takes all. Hear it all on your home for March Madness. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Westwood One.
Women Breaking Barriers, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Grammy Award-winning singer Mary J. Blige discusses why she created the Strength of a Woman Festival and Summit.
Celebrate women the way they celebrate me, because so I was like, okay, well, I want to do something for them. And this is the way I'm doing it for them, by celebrating them on the most important day for women, and that's Mother's Day.
Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Take steps to live a more sustainable lifestyle by investing in plastic-free food storage containers like silicone sandwich bags or beeswax wraps, which can replace the difficult-to-recycle single-use plastic wrap. And while we all do our part, Charmin is working hard to make a difference by regrowing 2 trees for every tree used. We all go, why not enjoy the go with Charmin? Whether it's the irresistible cushiony softness of Charmin Ultra Soft or the superior strength and absorbency of Charmin Ultra Strong, either way, you can't go wrong.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 4/6. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Starting with one store in 1978, Boot Barn has become the largest Western and workwear retailer in the nation. Supporting those who feed, build, and protect America, we offer the largest selection of cowboy boots, work boots, Western wear, workwear, and outdoor gear. With over 500,000 pairs of boots and thousands of top-quality jeans and clothing, it's an honor to support the people who make our country so great. Boot Barn. Keep West.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074 or hill-electric.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle. And I ask you this question. Who wants to have some fun? Do you?
Do you know the SpongeBob-ism for fun?
I think I do.
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere and anytime at all. That's fun.
I'm down with that.
Yeah,
at the Circa in Las Vegas. The Blitz is going. You should go with them. They're going to be broadcasting live March 28th, 29th from beautiful Circa in downtown Las Vegas. It'll be in celebration of such things as opening day. Greg Maddox will be there to throw out the first pitch there at the Circa Sportsbook and the Sweet 16. And all can be celebrated by not only the listeners, but their family and friends. Go to the Circa website, Circa Las Vegas, and use the key Minix20, and you'll get 20% off your room, and you'll get a bonus of fun. That's coming around the bend. Go check it out. It's going to be a good time. The Blitz live in Circa. Go with them. Follow all of us and all their doings at sasportstar.com and all the appropriate social media platforms.
the Spurs have a lot going on their Instagram story.
What's going on
Austin.
on the Instas as they're celebrating all things Austin and how cool Austin is and how we're just the grumpy old parents that don't let them have any fun?
Well, look, I'm looking at the Instagram story. There was a Spurs Cup that took place. Looks like a sequence of mini games based on the Instagram story. There was hula hooping. Could you have done well?
In my day, I almost went pro, RJ. I don't want to really get into it, but the pro hula hoop circuit is cutthroat. Let's just say I got galoolied.
So hula hoop, they're on a bunch of basketball court, or tennis courts. There's some like kind of, I wouldn't say carnival games, but like kind of fun games like that, little free throw contests and stuff like that. Oh, here's like a beer pong setup with trash cans, like free throw shooting or 3-point shooting style.
So a lot of fun. They're just doing all the cool stuff when it's like our kids are with our ex and their cool new boyfriend doing all the fun stuff, and we're sitting at home cleaning up their mess.
I mean,
there's free concert tonight too.
How dude, Austin rocks.
Yeah, they're just so much better than us.
I mean, they got a P. Terry's,
which
so.
What do you think of
match.
By the way, what do you think of P. Terry's?
Oh, it stinks. It's not good at all.
It's just like regular old skinny burgers. There's nothing special. The designs are cool. It looks like it's straight out of the Jetsons, but not a fan.
It doesn't, doesn't impress.
And the thing is, I wanted it to be good. I didn't not want to like it. It felt very Texas to me, and I thought, no, even at its worst, Whataburger's better than P. Terry's. Yeah, I said it. Even though Whataburger ain't Texan no more, they're Chicago. We are headed toward the end of this regular season, though. We got many more games to play. The magic number is 65 for Victor Wembanyama, and the expectation of wanting him to play more. Yeah, I want to see more, but we understand we're in the middle of a process. Victor was asked, a day before yesterday, what his process would entail. He said, I owe a lot to my team. I'll be working for my team. He didn't say he was going to sit out. He said he was going to pay attention to the team and give them what he believes they are owed, which would be his playing time. But I think we want him to go. And there's going to be some whopping changes regarding that. Let's play. I want you to hear from Pop, and let's talk about the Pop as not only the coach, but the president of basketball operations.
I don't pretend to know, what we're going to do.
What?
We have a lot of possibilities ahead of us, whether it's money in the bank or draft picks, being creative, trade-wise, all those things are on the table. But aren't they for every team? I don't know why we're any different. We're just younger.
Well, you got Wemby. You got about 50 number one or first round draft picks over the next several years. There's rumors floating everywhere about a Trey Jones move. You're looking down your roster, and you got a bunch of NBA guys and then a bunch of 12-seaters, but you got a bunch of NBA guys, and a lot of these guys are probably not going to be Spurs for as long as they can keep them around. You know what I mean? So the cutting's coming. Pop talked about what's going to happen this summer with the dudes that are on the roster.
We all have opinions every day. Coaches meet every day, and we talk about that sort of thing along with everything else. So when the season ends, obviously we'll sit down, with management and have that discussion. But whether it's a young team or an older team, every team has that discussion. There are changes made every year. So that just goes with the territory.
So we got a guy who's the president who has no idea what's going on. He's going to go sit down with management, of which he is the president of. I'm not quite sure what to make of that statement other than maybe Pop might be doing a little bit too much.
Do you feel bad for not giving Trey Jones his flowers yesterday?
No, I still don't feel bad. I gave him his flowers.
You should feel bad, because think about the way Pop just spoke about the roster. He was kind of like, yeah, these dudes all stink. these dudes ain't going to be here. And you were just like, oh, the one guy that stinks, like, oh, yeah, I don't want to give him any kind of props for having a moderately good game in the NBA.
Well,
you should feel horrible.
Well, on top of the guy that I didn't give any flowers, and I heard his coach say, well, coming into the offseason as president, we could not do anything, save our money. Or we got drafts picks, so we'll probably try to draft somebody. Or, we might go spend some of that money.
I mean,
wow, that makes me feel very comfortable in where we're going. I mean, if I needed transparent proof that the process is in fact in full effect, it's working. In all seriousness, as they do head up to Austin, this did feel like, even just a couple of games ago, the opportunity for the Spurs to show us who they are going to be. You know, we've had these months of trials and errors and weird point guard play, and we had an injury or two that would kind of slowed some development. We've gotten a chance to see just about all we need to see of Blake Wesley. We've seen a variety of iterations of Zach Collins as starter and as backup. We've seen Malachi Brenham have moments of brilliance, and then we've had as big a boneheaded moves as we can have. But we've seen everybody do everything they can, and felt like it was all melding together for this 2-week, 8-game homestand for them to say, this is what we're trying to do, and this is how far we've come. And then Victor's going to hit his 65, and we're going to put him on ice. And now we're going to start pulling those 12 seeds, more and more Mamu, less and less Zach, more and more Barlow, less and less Y. And here we go. But that doesn't look like where we're going right now, because they're still trying to get out of their own way.
I mean, let's reframe that question. When have they not been in their own way? At what point have they not been in their own way in the Wemby era, as brief as it's been?
Well,
and they actually
you're
they
right.
were behind the 8 ball.
I agree with that.
They were behind the 8 ball to begin with, right? Because you naturally are in this situation, right? And then they were like, oh, we're not far enough behind it. We're going to put Jeremy Sohan at point guard, you know?
Right.
So they were like,
exactly.
we want to put a Grand Canyon between us and the 8 ball. All right. I also don't understand that expression, by the way. So I'd like to understand where that comes from, but that's a subject for a different day. So anyway, so they're like, they made up the ground, right? To back to being just at the original spot behind the 8 ball. And they're like, well, give us some credit. You know what I mean? We fixed the problem that we created. And also we don't know how to fix any other problems or anything like that, but trust us. We know what we're doing because we've done it before, right? Like with some of the best players in the history of this game, we did it then, so we can do it again. And I'm not saying that they can't do it again, but like there has never been a point where I think could look at it and say like, oh, the process here is working. Because even the Wemby thing, like you won the lotto, great. That wasn't like, that's not a plan. Like luck isn't a plan. You lucked into it, great. Now, how are you going to capitalize on it? That's the question that we continually ask and that we have yet to get any kind of legitimate answer to.
I think, as you put it, getting out of the way, and we had, it appeared, gotten out of their way. That, Keldon has been in his position as a 6th man long enough to start feeling comfortable doing exactly that on a regular basis and knowing his minutes and knowing his opportunities. That seemed to kind of find its way. Zach Collins coming off the bench. It took a while for him to find his way, but to his credit, he's gotten there. Champagne finding his way as a starter. I mean, all these things seem to be coming to this culmination as Pop has done years in the past. The rodeo road trip fine-tuned things. It was the crucible wherein the diamond was created, and we just kind of polished it up for the next couple of weeks. And we felt that way even 4 days ago. But a young team's going to have his ups and downs. But I just put it to you, we are nearing the end of this season. Now, we'll have more games played, but once this road one is done, it's going to get weird with the roster. If I would Pop, it would be. You're going to see starting lineups of weirdness because I'm headed to the bottom as fast as I can. I got to get to the bottom faster than Toronto, and I got to hope Toronto stumbles and actually wins a game or two so I get 2 of those picks. But here we go. We're about to go into the deep end, and we just got a couple of games to do it. And the bad news is I think they're going to play really well here in the next couple of days.
So we've been saying this for a while, but the season ends the day of the golf tournament. And if you haven't signed up yet, once again, sasportstar.com. Monday, March 25th. That's the 2nd game in a row against Phoenix. That's the end of this quote-unquote homestand. And it's appropriate that they're headed to Salt Lake City after that to face the Jazz because that is when the floating begins. That is when they just lay on their back and they stop swimming and they just exist. And to your point, maybe the organic tank is on. They won't be competitive against them or the Knicks or the Warriors or anybody else in the aftermath of that because at that point it's okay. This was fun and this was cute. We we kind of identified some things, but we have a bigger goal at hand and a larger priority, and that's more ping pong balls in the proverbial machine.
No, on the other side of that, I do think that we are going to see some good basketball that's going to be played up there. The Spurs are going to take something good up there. I think Brooklyn is going to be in for a show.
The moment we said that, though, to start this homestand, it is not.
But The way
we spoke too soon.
The way that Wemby got that West Coast road stand rest, the way that he and Devin Vassell haven't played very good in the last couple of games, you get the sense that Pop's still kind of tweaking some things around him because they just didn't look in sync in the last game, especially with Devin and Victor in it as starters after missing a game or two for separate reasons. You get the sense there's some tweaking, some final fine-tuning as they're just going to end this thing up. And, Spurs fans, season ticket holders who bought tickets to see that, going to have to watch it on TV if they can even find it due to our weird RSN situation, which, by the way, on the last Rocket home game, and I love when Ken's broadcast the games. It's the egalitarian democratization of the league. Just put it on broadcast and let anybody watch it. But when they did that, it completely screwed up all of us that stream things. Then you just went from kind of finding it on Bally. I had to go back to the crack streams, baby. I had to go find it on the, not the crack streams. I had to watch the Spurs. The only way I could get it as a streamer in San Antonio was to watch the Rocket broadcast. Tell me that's just not absolutely screwed up.
We didn't really talk about this, but I also watched the Rockets broadcast on Tuesday night. And this is not a shot against the Spurs broadcast, but it was enjoyable. It was really good. And, that's the Space City Home Network.
Calvin wearing his chessboard jacket, man. No.
I know, but it's a unique thing. We've talked about this before in that the Astros and Rockets own it. So there's a little bit more like, team-ishness to it. So, but like, that's the model. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be really cool that your team owns the broadcast. And, in that case for Rockets fans, certainly for Astros fans watching games on the network, like that is the future. Just do that. Like, why can't, it's so easy.
But Spurs do that. So I'm not forced to have to watch 45 minutes of propaganda to start the game and listen to nothing about my team throughout the game as they're talking about the guy sitting on the bench picking his nose. I hate watching this. And this is manufactured and designed by the league that's given it to me. The Spurs signed off on this. That, there are people out there that when we broadcast it over there that will not be able to watch it unless they watch it through the lens of the team we're playing and all of their advertisers. It's just as crazy and stupid as you can even begin to design it.
I completely agree with you. And again, if I use that example, that template, the Space City Home Network, like if you were a complete Houstonite and you were an Astros and Rockets fan, and they said, hey, we made an app or we made a channel or whatever. Like, it's the Space City Home Network app. For $11.99 a month, you get access to these two teams. Boom. Like, easy. Like, you just have to go to this one app, this one site, whatever, blah, blah, and you're good to go. I mean, as opposed to like some games you have, some games you don't, some games. I mean, like, it's so why is it so difficult to watch the local team? It should not be this impossible. With all the options and technology that we have available to us, the fact that we have to go through this many hoops is frankly unacceptable. And I understand that there's money at stake and there's all these sorts of things, but like this is such a needlessly convoluted problem.
You wonder, ask yourself this, would the NFL ever get stuck in a situation like this? Never.
Oh God, no.
Never.
The NFL would show up to your door and glue a TV to your forehead so you could watch it.
Someone would be fired the moment they said, what do you mean the home team? You can't watch it. What? That would have happened. Hey, coming back, the NFL is busy. We'll talk about the winners and losers, but front and center, it's tourney day. Let's look at the guys that are playing. As Spurs fans, you might need to watch. You might want to connect to a volunteer. We'll tell you what that means next. You're on the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And as you turn your heads toward the tourney, nothing makes the game more exciting than a little bit of action on it. BetUS.com. Enough with the screaming about it. I've endorsed BetUS.com. They've paid me a lot of money. I've given them some money too over the years. BetUS.com is the only book I endorse because I trust them. I know that they're going to take care of you the way that they've taken care of me in ways that when I first started with them years and years ago, I could have never imagined. Who'd have thought that there would be a day and age where when I deposit $125, they put in 125% of that. When I put in money, they give me 125% to match that. And they're going to do that 3 times with their new customers. Call 1-800-MyBetUS right now to get this thing going. If you want to go online, it's mybetus.com. Go there, get yourself signed up. This is not heard of in the industry. 125% sign up on your first 3 deposits. For those of you in the crypto side of the world, 200% matching. And then for those of you looking for insurance, 10% bettors insurance. That's just part of the game at betus.com. But why do I love them? Because not only do I trust them to make my plays, but when I just want to have some fun, their casino is always there for me as well. And great bonuses for doing both. BetUS.com. They're my book. They should be yours. Call 1-800-MY-BET-US. Go to BetUS.com. Call them today. Sign up now, and I know you're going to thank me later.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
Shereen Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us. A wild, crazy, busy couple of days for the Cowboys up there at the Star.
Expect something maybe next week, that second or third round of free agents, just like always. Nothing has changed since Brandon Carr and that sign on the first day of free agency of $50.1 million. And you'll remember it well. That's the last time that they've really been active in free agency. The next year they changed their MO, and now they've gone to let's draft well and let's reward the players on our own team. And we'll let guys go, and we'll build with replacements around the core that we have drafted and signed a second contract. So that's how they operate. This theory all-in thing was a farce from the beginning.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
March is National Nutrition Month. Metro Health invites you to go beyond the table to celebrate food and its role in health and wellness. Whether we eat around a dinner table, on the go, or at a restaurant, choosing what we eat is important. Stay nourished on any budget. Metro Health offers information and resources to help you and your family savor your health. For tips, recipes, and much more, visit sa.gov/health. Eat well, feel great.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the all-new Vokey SM10 wedges, made for lower flight, improved feel, and maximum spin. Unlock your ultimate wedge. Play with the new Vokey SM10 wedges. Visit us in store at Edwin Watts Golf Shops or online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Dave Ramsey here from my friends over at Connecticut in San Antonio. Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy. So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it. It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association. The team at Connecticut San Antonio can test your water, install a system, and provide treatment all without stepping a foot inside your home.
I'm Chris Canepa of Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days absolutely free. Call us at 656-PURE, that's 656-7873, or visit us on ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
At Lowe's, pros save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 230 or more select James Hardie fiber cement siding panels. And there's more. Save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Join Jason and Joe from The Blitz in Las Vegas Thursday, March 28th at Circa Resort and Casino in downtown Las Vegas to celebrate the start of the season with the ceremonial first pitch by Hall of Famer Greg Maddux. Catch all the games on the Circa Las Vegas 78 million pixel screen while you feast on Coney Dogs by American Coney Dog, complimentary apple pie, and more. And oh yeah, moms, drink free. Don't miss the first day of baseball at Circa Resort and Casino. Visit circalasvegas.com for more information. Book your trip now, circalasvegas.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Good morning, everybody. Jason Minix here from The Blitz, starting at 2 o'clock today, the latest in NFL free agency. We will talk Cowboys with ESPN's Don Danetta, who is writing an unauthorized biography on Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Don joins us at 4:35. Rob, you wearing shorts to the Roo tomorrow night?
I've got my best pair of jorts. Just ready to go. They're knee length. They got the carpenter pockets on the side so I can hold my calculator and my hammer, my phone. And then I've got my Air Dads laid out, but not the ones that Jason will have on, another pair. And I'm not sure which Columbia fishing shirt I'll have on, but it'll be a good one. The ones with the barbecue stains on it that shows, I've been out back. That's how you go to the Roo Pub on a Friday. It's going to be a great St. Patty's weekend. We're going to be there tomorrow from 2 to 6, sitting in as the Blitz crew is reunited yet again at a bar that I'm very familiar with, the Roo Pub. Hey, come out and have some fun with us as we kick off St. Patty's Day weekend. There'll be hoops on the TV. There'll be us talking. There'll be cold beer poured, and there might even be a Wimby burger eaten. Ever had a Wimby burger, RJ?
No, it should be 7 feet tall, though.
It has what they call foie gras.
Okay.
Ever had foie gras?
I have not.
Goose liver?
Oh, God, that sounds horrible.
Oh, it's lovely. It's delicious. It's fatty and wonderful. On a burger, go to Roo Pub. Have one tomorrow. You'll see of which I speak. We can't wait to be out there tomorrow. Ordinarily, we have Dr. Jason Garrett. He just called and canceled. The guy, he's a busy man. So we told you he was coming. I'm sorry. For those that are looking forward for Dr. Garrett's standard stop by. I think we've established that the Cowboys might be signing a running back. We'll tell you who that is in only about 10 minutes. But we're pretty sure we know who it is. We've read the map. We've divined the tea leaves. We have pieced the puzzle together, and we have an answer for running back. It might not be the one you like, but it'll be what we think is going to happen. But before we go there, it's tourney time, man. It is the best time of the year for guys like me. I love today. I love tomorrow. The championship games are fun because, we're talking seeding and all that. But today and tomorrow is where guys that are on medium to average teams are playing their last organized basketball game. This is it. It's over for a lot of guys today. And I love that last 100%, the last 3 minutes of a tight game with a guy who's just about done. There's nothing better than the closeout of these games where everything matters. And they're not that good. You don't know when the shot goes up that it's going to go in. In fact, probably won't. Love college hoops, and this is the best time of the year. As the Spurs are rounding into top 5 pick form, if you could, I'm not talking player, RJ. I'm talking skill set. What would you go get today that the Spurs don't have out of the draft, not free agency, a young kid coming to do something? What would it be, and who would you? Well, not who, but what kind of player would you go get? Because I have the fix for all that.
I would go get a seat at Rob Thompson's house to watch all of the conference tournaments.
I think that is a worthy thing to do,
because this is the most exciting weekend of basketball.
It is
for the Spurs in some time. It's ironic that it is coming the weekend of Austin. You know what I mean? But because this is the most significant basketball that's being played relative to the Spurs, obviously, and the prospects that we hope that they have. I mean, I'm going to say what everyone's going to say. Like, you need like ball handling point guard. You need a distributor. You need a floor man. You need a quarterback.
Would you draft that, or would you go find a veteran for that?
I would trade for Trae Young. I've said this a million times, and I know a million people agree with me. But I mean, let me ask you a question. Your confidence or belief that they will trade for Trae Young on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being
I would say it's
happening, lock it up.
over 50% that conversations are happening. It appears that
No, not
that
conversations,
Atlanta
the
is
likelihood.
trying. I think it's more likely than not that the Spurs are attempting to bring in Trae Young.
I think it's more likely than not as well, but I would still only put it at like a soft 6.
I think they're trying,
barely over the hump.
But this is a big money deal and a long-term ramifications, and it's just not that. This is not something that I've seen Pop and that cadre want to do. This is a big old bite of apple. So that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I think it's more likely than not. But that being said, so the thing about this year is there's a lot of really good young point guards to be seen, and some that have improved over the year because, quite frankly, they were 18-year-old college freshmen when this thing started. They're barely shaving. They've got some games under the belt now, and we can see. So there's guys to follow. But for me, if you're looking for a penetrating point guard, a guy that will orchestrate and run, there's a couple guys that are going to be playing today and tomorrow that you might want to dial into. Now, I've talked a lot about Rob Dillingham, the guy from Kentucky, but if you're looking to combine both of what you're looking for and what I'm looking for, it's his running mate, a guy named Reed Shepherd that's playing for Kentucky. Tune in. That's a guy that's mentioned in the top 10, has top 10 skills, has the shooting prowess that I'm chasing, but has the point guard chops to get himself in the league. Compare him. He is just a level-headed, solid shooting point guard. Could grow into. I'm trying to find a current comparison that I like. Fred VanVleet would come to mind, a defensive guy who'll hit a shot. I don't know.
Fresh on the mind.
That would be a solid contributor.
I
like him a lot.
I want to take it back to the tournaments real quick, because we do not have.
Well, I have two more guys I want to bring up real quick.
Okay,
Pay attention to Colorado. Cody Williams. He's a freshman. Sure. He's a forward. The Colorado connection to the Spurs has been evident in the past. That's where once Spur, now Boston Celtic, Derek White played, and the relationship with the Spurs and the current head coach there at Colorado is deep. Cody Williams is a fast riser. That's another guy to follow. But I'll tell you who the Spurs need to get, not what they need to get. This is a shooters league. Follow shooters. And the best shooter in the league right now is a kid at Tennessee, a grad transfer out of Colorado State. His name is Connect. Watch him at Tennessee. The dude reminds me of Jimmer Fredette. Nobody has shot the basketball in college like this in quite some time. He's about 6'7", 6'8", able to create his shot. He is not a top 2 or 3 pick. There is a ceiling here, but ain't nobody shot like him in a long time. I'm really eager to see how these really good teams, if Tennessee can manage to get to the 16, which they should by their season, Rick Barnes. I can't wait to see him getting scouted with guys trying to stop him and see if he can overcome it. Because if he can, Spurs better be circling him at 5, 6, or 7, because I think that's where his stock will be.
Maybe that's the Toronto pick. Obviously, A&M plays Ole Miss today, game of the day.
Important.
But outside of that, what game are you most looking forward to today on Thursday?
Well, in the early part of the tournament, I'm going to pay a lot of attention to the Big 12 today. Because Texas is already done. Kansas is already done. I'll say it again.
Right.
Cincinnati put Kansas out. A one and done in the tournament. Bill Self better be on suicide watch right now.
How about Cincinnati Baylor today?
Baylor better dispatch them quickly. And I'm going to pay attention, very close attention to Baylor, because I don't know what to expect out of the Big 12, because everybody is really good, but nobody is great. Lots of talent there. And Houston, number 1 in the Big 12. Houston and Baylor, if they can put things together, are both Final Four teams, and Houston is a championship-level team.
Well, they had that great game a few weeks ago that Houston barely pulled off. So.
Absolutely. We'll get the games get started pretty early on. The first game I'm going to dive into, Xavier UConn looks pretty good. I watched Xavier beat Xavier won last night. Who did they beat? Was it Dayton? No, they beat Butler. I saw Xavier take down Butler. They have UConn today, the number 1 team in the country, quite frankly. Florida State UNC today at 11 is going to be a phenomenal game. But for the Big 12, I'm going to dive in immediately. BYU Tech. BYU had a surprising year. They're worthy of Big 12 competition. A win or two here might get them into the tournament, though I doubt they can. Tech, we know who Tech is. In their transition period, had a better year in Lubbock than they did in Austin with brand new coaches. So that'll be the early game. A&M, if they can double up Ole Miss, which they smoked over the weekend. They are fighting to get into the tourney. I mean, this is a team at Texas at A&M with Buzz Williams who has been left out. The tournament has left Buzz out late in the year as he rounds his team into form. So I think they feel like the tournament selection committee owes them a favor, but they're going to have to win a couple games in the SEC to get themselves into the dance.
Should be a fun weekend.
Oh,
I mean, basketball from sun up to sundown, basically. It's March. I mean, this is what we live for.
For those that aren't going to pay a whole lot of attention, but just a passing interest as we get ready to do our brackets, and brackets are everywhere. We got our own. You want to play? We want you to play. We'll start talking about it on Monday, but I do want to make sure that our morning huddle types are represented. So I want to figure out a way that they could sign up, everybody who listens to us, that we know they're morning huddle types. So when the bracket becomes available over the weekend, we'll have it right here on the SASportsStar.com for you to get yourself signed up. Pay attention to this. If nothing else, as you come into the bracket, and everybody does, you'll get a printout, you get a matchup thing that first weekend. Look at the guards. Any team with a junior or senior level guard that's a tandem of guards, a minimum of 2 that won their division. If you're not sure, always pick that team. This year is the end of the COVID extra year. This is the year where all of these dudes that are like 23, 24, 25 years of age are finally finishing out their college career. There's grad transfers all over the place. This kid, Connect, I just told you about, came out of Colorado State, and we'd have never seen this cat but for a COVID year. So there's great talent out there playing at little tiny schools. And if you're not sure whether it's a big SEC school going against MCC conference, look at their guards. They got 2 senior guards, and you're not sure it's a slightly higher ranked big conference team, pick the lower ranked conference champion. This is the year they're going to do it. I feel like we're going to see the same thing this year as we did last. There's going to be 2 teams there from conferences we haven't even talked about, man, with players that we recognize from schools that they were a year or 2 ago. It is tourney time, baby. Stay with us all day long as we'll have all the updates required. SASportsStar.com will have all the scores you need. Coming back, we're talking Spurs, the Austin version, looking at the Cowboys. Is there something in the kitchen? Are they delving into the running back game? Are they cooking up something good? We'll tell you what it means next.
This is the Morning Huddle with Robin RJ. Morning 6 to 10, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at SASportsStar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Last week after the show, a gentleman contacted Gigi and wants her to do some voiceover work at a barbecue restaurant at 2 o'clock on Sunday. I said, Gigi, you're not going to go meet a stranger at 2 o'clock at a barbecue place.
I think it's fine.
No, it's not.
He is going to feed her, and she is going to show up. I know her.
The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Puro San Antonio football is back at the Alamo Dome. Join the herd and watch your Brahmas in the best seats at the best prices. Single season and group tickets are available now. Don't miss any Brahmas action this season, led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips. The Brahmas kick off the season March 31st against the DC Defenders in the Alamo Dome. Let's pack the dome. Experience the excitement. Head to theUFL.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. That's theUFL.com. Vamos Brahmas.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head, comb it over, wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today, because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to anyone that texts SOLVE to 200-300. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad, because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let Bosley show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text SOLVE to 200-300. That's SOLVE to 200-300.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets, the bus wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Do you have failing or missing teeth? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctors Implants.
I had missing teeth. I had crowns. I had partials.
There was no way I was going to walk into my bathroom every morning to see my teeth in a container.
At Doctors Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants might be the long-term solution you're looking for.
The 6-Hour Smile is a permanent full mouth teeth replacement. Your new smile will be custom designed to fit your face and lifestyle and will look and function just like regular teeth. You won't need to remove them from your mouth overnight, and you won't need adhesive to keep them in place. Eat freely and smile confidently again. Research them at doctorsimplants.com. Receive a complimentary doctor's consultation and CT scan when you call 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
Home of the 6-Hour Smile.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys finally entered the fray. The free agency period began in earnest for the Cowboys last night as they signed Erik Kendricks. It was interesting that they took him from the 49ers, who believed they had a deal in place already. Kendricks played for Mike Zimmer in Minnesota for several years. In fact, Zimmer drafted him in 2015. In college basketball, Texas Longhorns went down, one and done in the Big 12 tournament. They're going.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas BuyersBarricades.com.
Wembanyama goes behind the back here. Oh, little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama. It's knocked away by Wembanyama.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. With Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Hey, gather around. We got a whole bunch to talk about. Welcome to the Morning Huddle. Hour number 4. If you're getting here late, shame on you. Set an alarm. You can catch up, though. There's always some extra reading involved. But if you go to sasportstar.com, do your extra assignments, and we won't bump you a letter grade. You can stay along with us. If you haven't already started watching us, hey, we went and combed our hair, brushed our teeth. Go to our YouTube channel, watch us, and make sure you're subscribed in the appropriate manner. We like to say put a thumb on it, and when you do, become part of our brigade bar and sound off like you got a pair. You can also talk to us. 656-3776 is the magic number, a number that is just waiting to be sponsored. You know who I'm talking to. He is RJ Ochoa. We call him the Chief Inspector. I am Rob Thompson, just a cop. And on the other side is Easy E. We're putting together clues as you join us this hour. The Dallas Cowboys finally jumped into the playoff or the free agency fray. They signed a linebacker of knowledge, of age, of experience. His name is Kendricks. He played for the Vikings for about 8 years. He was a Charger, now a Cowboy. He knows Zimmer intimately. They have shared recipes, and he's here to further the Zimmer defense.
Rob,
we got good news, though. I hope you're about to tell everybody what I just saw.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I have something to say. But you sound good. Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Well, there's a wide receiver available, one that the Cowboys have talked to in the past, one that has beaten the Cowboys in the past, one that exhibited the greatest catch of the 20th century.
You're
Odell Beckham Jr. has been released by the Baltimore Ravens.
He wasn't
just saying.
released.
Well, he's a free man.
Yeah. I see the 5-hour energy kicked in.
No, it fits my Expendables narrative more than anything else. But
okay, so what I want to bring your attention to something because I don't know.
So that you got better news than Odell being available?
It's actually not great news, but I do want to bring your attention to it. So you agree that Erik Kendricks signing is a good thing
on its face, in a vacuum, is a good thing, a good value, a good talent playing for a dude that he knows, and vice versa. So yes, I will part that as a positive move on the Cowboys side.
All right, you Dallas Cowboys fan are happy about it. Great, you would high five somebody. You would high five a fellow Cowboys fan.
Well, I'd say give me 5. Not high five. That's not
right. Okay. You would say, give me 5. That's great. So you think it's news worth celebrating? It's news worth talking about. Fair?
As much as the Cowboys have offered. Yes, absolutely.
Well, on the subject of what the Cowboys have offered, they recently tweeted. And now, to be clear, the social media department is not, the front office.
They haven't had the best record, but go ahead.
But they're not the front office. That being said, they tweeted the official, announcement. They tweeted, "Welcome to Dallas, comma." We found out from Skip Bayless, commas are very important. Well, welcome to Dallas, comma, at Erik Kendricks 6. So they tagged him, exclamation point, a star emoji.
Yippee!
They entered a line, hashtag Dallas Cowboys, and of course, at blockchain. And then a graphic that says agree to terms.
That's their sponsor. Paid in crypto? Okay. Okay.
That's their sponsor. Gotcha. But what's notable about this tweet, Rob, again, a tweet that is celebrating the first external free agent signing. I mean, again, objectively good news. The Cowboys social department turned the replies off. You cannot reply to this tweet. I don't know if you know the way that this works. I know you don't spend as much time in Twitter land as I do.
No, I get it. I get it.
Generally, this happens with not great stuff. Yeah. Now, these kinds of tweets can still be quote tweeted. They can't be replied to, but so you get buried in the quote tweets. So if you go look at this tweet's quote tweets, it is nothing but people roasting them for turning their reply. Think about this. This is the first free agent signing that should be celebrated. And I don't want to accuse them because there could be any kind of strategy at play here from the social department, but it looks a lot like they're pulling down the curtains and the drapes, and they don't want to see. They don't want anybody to kind of look
on my parade. We got a linebacker. It happened. We spent some money. They
spent bare minimum money, Rob. I mean,
I refuse to give them credit for things I don't think they're smart enough to do.
Okay.
And some of the things that are going on with the Cowboys, you could parse them in a couple of different ways. But I do believe that there is method to the madness. We talked about it before the break, and I promised to tell everybody what we think the Cowboys are doing today. But to tell you what we think they're doing today, we have to look back to yesterday and follow the social media crumbs that led us to the position we're in now. So yesterday, of course, where everybody's mad, just like we're mad today. Even though we got something to chew on, it wasn't a full meal. We want something else. And running back has been something a bit of need. We watched our arch enemies go get better, and the Cowboys got worse and lost their guy. So here we sit. And then yesterday, what time did the Jane Slater tweet hit? It was early in the day.
She started to drop, tweets, I would say maybe about 9:30, 10 a.m.
Right about that. So I want you to take the story from here to tell everybody how we got to the point where we can tell you with just about fair certainty that the Cowboys are going to sign a running back that you've heard of today.
So Jane is incredible. One of the best people on the Dallas Cowboys beat and one of the most informed and most plugged in. And she was tweeting, it started off with, hey, watch out, the Cowboys might be doing something. This came on the heels of her colleague, Ian Rappaport, reporting that Dallas was connected to A.J. Dillon, so everybody naturally assumed that was that. She did a few hits on NFL Network where she talked about that. She talked about Cowboys fans coming, for the team and making fun of the team in her replies, which maybe kind of speaks to why the Cowboys turned the replies off the Erik Kendricks tweet, whatever. I hadn't picked up on this, but she started tweeting in a lot of
code words.
Yeah, she was tweeting that the Cowboys are cooking something. They're in the kitchen. They're baking. It was all terminology like that, and it admittedly kind of flew over my head.
Mine too.
It wasn't until later in the evening when I was just kind of doing stuff on my phone, and I saw that I had a new follower on Twitter, and it was Dalvin Cook. You mentioned the Cowboys need a running back, and his name hasn't really been thrown out because everyone's just been so mad. And I looked at the people he was following, and some of his recent follows obviously included myself, but some other Cowboys content creators on the internet. Why would he follow, a handful of Cowboys content creators? And then I looked at his liked tweets, because once upon a time you could tell a lot about, a player or a prospect or whatever by stuff like this. And he liked a Michael Gelkin tweet noting that Erik Kendricks was joining the team and reuniting with Mike Zimmer, his former head coach as well with the Vikings. But he also liked one of Jane's tweets where she used the word cook, she used the word kitchen, she used the word bake. So if we're putting two and two together, it kind of seems like Jane was trying to lead us to water, and that Dalvin Cook is the one pouring it from the faucet, or whatever. What is it called? The spigot.
The spigot.
It kind of seems like that's the way the math kind of checks out to me. But you tell me if that theory passes your smoke test.
It passes my smoke test because it goes even further than that. Because Dalvin Cook played for Mike Zimmer, just like Kendricks did. This feels so typically Cowboy.
But does Dalvin Cook doesn't play defense?
But what I'm saying is, go get who you know. With the Dallas Cowboys, it's not what you can do; it's who you know.
Oh man, can I do a Mike McCarthy impression real quick?
Yes, please.
Having coached against Dalvin, many years in the NFC North. I mean, I know how difficult he can make life on opposing defenses, and Mike here just speaks so highly of him, and we're really excited to have him in our locker room. I can't do the Pittsburgh accent, but I mean that's what we're gonna hear. He coached against him in the NFC North. He was a nightmare, and that Zimmer vouches for him. This is pathetic, dude. This is really sad.
And so the two options we were given so far that have been floated out of the Cowboy camp was A.J. Dillon, a guy that played for our head coach, and Dalvin Cook, the guy that played for our defensive coordinator. They didn't even look out outside. They knew. Who do you know personally that could come play for us right now? And that's who we're going to interview, because we're not letting anybody in on this little gold mine. You gotta knock. You have to have the secret knock and the handshake before we let you into the zoo that is the Star. I'm starting to buy into everything you're saying, because I just felt like this was more about just not arrogance, but hey, we're doing it our way. I'm making enough money. Leave me alone. I'll do whatever the hell I want, and we're still going to win 12 games. Y'all shut up. But it's not even that.
Oh. I hate to say that because it sounds, like Erik Kendricks is a good player.
Yes,
I don't know that Dalvin Cook
Dalvin kind of serviceable.
I don't know that Dalvin can contribute a lot right now, but I mean, I think Erik can certainly contribute more. But the reality of the new guy in the building knows these dudes, so let's give him a chance. Right? It's just and I mean it's really amazing how little work they are doing. We're talking, barely scrolling. Dalvin's not even that far down in the context. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm surprised they made it past AJ. You know what I mean? Like, and even Erik Kendricks is just a little bit further down. They're like, God forbid, somebody's name starts with an L or something. I mean, there's no chance in hell that they're going to join this team. I mean, it's
they're going to scroll all the way to Z. Now, can we prolong this nightmare and think it might be possible, if not likely, that Zeke comes back?
I don't know. I mean, if Dalvin joins the Cowboys, then I think that puts an end to any kind of Zeke reunion. But I mean, how embarrassing, by the way, that the like running back they're going to sign. And to be clear, I put this theory together in my own head, but so many other people have as well, because all this information is publicly accessible, right? Like Twitter likes and things like that. And so there's a lot of Cowboys content creators who were also followed by Dalvin who were kind of tweeting about this. So this story's percolating on the internet. It's like, how embarrassing that this was just so easily deciphered by everybody. I mean, that's how smooth their operation is, that the whole internet is completely and totally aware of what they're doing and the running back that they're going to be bringing in inevitably. Now, the only other thing that I would add is that it is an actual conspiracy theory, is they threw the A.J. Dillon thing out to piss you off, to piss you, Rob, off, to piss off general Cowboys fan. They threw it out so that you could go, what the hell are you doing? What are you thinking, bringing in A.J. Dillon? And then, for them to throw you Dalvin Cook and be like, well, he's not so bad. I mean, because I was mentally prepared for A.J. Dillon. I feel a lot better about this. Okay, good job, guys. Way to go. Congratulations. You really did something I'm on board with. It's psychology 101, dude. They're rope-a-doping you.
So here we sit. And the chase continues. I'm going to hang my hat on a different thing today. I think the activity showed that they came in with a plan, and they were going to get.
I totally.
They were going to get Kendricks. Now the plan was to get Kendricks.
How is that a plan? To go get a dude?
No, there's other guys
new.
that they have planned, and I think that they were surprised by the veracity of the running back market. I think that they did not do their due diligence and did not expect how quickly backs were going to run off this list for more than they expected. Hell, their guy got $8 million 3 years. Pollard got $24 million. They were thinking they might get him for $4 million. I believe in their heart of hearts, they believe that they can get Pollard for under $4 million a year. And he jumps out with a $24 million deal, and they were shocked into submission. Like, well, crap, we're out. Right? Do you get that sense? But they did think Kendricks was a guy. And they said, hey, man, go do your due diligence. Go shop, but make us the last option.
I completely disagree.
Well, then how did he go make a deal and then fall apart? Do you think we called him after he'd made a deal?
Yes. I think that they never planned on doing anything on day 1 or 2 because they don't. And I think that yesterday they were like, oh, okay, it's day 3. Like, let's what do y'all think we should do? Like yesterday was the first, what should we do in free agency? And then they said, well, remember like that meeting we had a month ago? Somebody said we should sign Erik Kendricks. Let's hit him up. And then they were like, holy crap. Somebody reported this morning that he's going to San Francisco. We can't let this happen. Zim, call him, beg him, please. I mean, like, I completely disagree that they had some sort of plan involved here. Like the wool is over your eyes, Rob.
I think it was more like, just call me last, man. Go make your deal. Call me last.
That would be even worse. Like, that would be so pathetic.
No, it's the laziest thing you can do. It's literally the laziest thing you can do. But because when you say that, you're admitting I'm willing to overpay for you. Go make your best deal, and I'll make it better for you. And if they'd have done the right thing, they could have gotten Kendricks immediately for probably a little bit less than they had to pay for saying, let us be the last guy you talk to. So I'm not praising him for what they did, but I do get the sense that they had him circled and said, you know what, we got to get you. So if you feel like you can make a better deal, go get it. And when you get it, call us. And they did, and they paid more than they probably should have. But at the very least, they got the guy. 3 days late, 2 days late, they got a guy that I'm not mad at. The long way to go.
I once spent a spring break at my buddy's lake house on Lake LBJ, and it was a lot of fun. There was a bunch of us there, and my friend Noah, who you've met, great guy. We were sitting there on the couch, and another friend told Noah, because there's just a limited number of bathrooms, and so there was a bathroom within sight. And the friend said to Noah, "Hey, can you tell me?" Like, we were all literally sitting like next to each other, just the three of us, like on this couch, and told Noah, hey, can you tell me when that, because someone had just gone in to shower and they said, can you tell me when the shower's free? And Noah was kind of stunned. He was like, you mean the bathroom right there that we can all see? No, but the one that like you're sitting right next to me, the one that we can both see. Yeah. You need me to tell you when it's free? And
Look,
that's
doors open. It's free.
Yeah, and that's kind of the Cowboys here. Like, hey, Erik, do us a favor. Go let the Niners negotiate the deal, and then just screenshot it and send it to us.
That's the laziest possible. So when you want to talk about the team being lazy, it's not about sitting and waiting. The laziest thing they could do is spend more money by their laziness. I don't want to negotiate. You go make the best deal you can make, and I'll make it better.
Here's my credit card. Go buy the gift from me to whoever.
That's
just
kind of
put
the
my
way
name on
they
the card.
did this.
Yeah.
So I'm not praising them for doing it this way. I'm saying they did it the laziest possible way, but at least they found the guy to go do it.
I see. Pledge says in the Brigade Bar, can we not give them credit for stealing a guy from a team they're in competition with for in the NFC? I cannot give them credit for stealing because I don't know that. I don't believe that they stole. Do you really think that if Erik Kendricks wants to win a Super Bowl, that he believes the Dallas Cowboys are the best place to do that over the San Francisco 49ers? No. And plus, the Niners offer the Niners have a Dre Greenlaw shaped hole who obviously tore his ACL or was it the Achilles in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
so like they need him. Our buddy Rob Stats Guerrero tweeted out actually when that happened. He said, "There's the bridge to get to Greenlaw," and that could have been Erik Kendricks, and he could have won a Super Bowl potentially. Like, no, this was like, well, they gave me this deal, and there's no state income tax on it if I go play for you.
There's that. And I think you pegged it exactly. That's in my mind, that's exactly what happened. I'll tell you what else is happening. When the Spurs play again, they'll be welcoming in the first place team in the West. Denver rested it back as the Western Conference is heavy on top, and the Spurs are going to play a home game on the road against that very team. We'll talk about Denver. We'll talk about the Spurs as they prepare for that. And then after that, just a little bit after 7:30, we're going to play a little bit of sound from Dan Orlovsky. And I'm not a big Dan fan. I think he's a little bit overdramatic in many instances, but he said something yesterday that sums up the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones more than anybody has in a bit. And you'll hear that just a little bit after 7:30. Talking Spurs, the Joker's coming. See if we got a joke for them. That's coming up next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You know, when you are in San Antonio, there's certain things that you take great pride in. San Antonio, South Texas, we have good water. We do. The water that comes out of our aquifer, we're proud to have it. It is South Texas strained through limestone, makes some good sweet tea, some outstanding beer. But I'll tell you what, there's sediment in that water. Some of that flavor ends up on your skin and on your glasses and in your hair and on your clothes. Everything you don't want, it's there. If you got the whites that slowly turn gray, you ever put on a pair of socks and think they were white until you saw them against your shoes? That's your water softener. If you're dealing with that, you need a Connecticut. The Canippas, who've been telling Connecticut's in San Antonio for a long time, want you to have the very best, and they've got an offer for you. 3 months, no bill, no commitment. You'll find out what I know. That Connecticut water softener is designed and made with San Antonio and South Texas in mind. The most efficient water softener on the market. They've got an award that says that is available to you free of charge. What do you need to do? You dial 656 PURE right now. The Canippas have somebody out post-haste. They'll have one in your home, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Because if you're sick of wiping off the clean plates coming out of the dishwasher, if you're sick of having to wash your hair one more time to get that stuff off, if you're sick of that dry skin, Connecticut will fix it. Call them today at 656 PURE. Go to their website, ConnecticutSA.com, for all the details you need. Don't wait. Call today. Find out what I know. And when you do, you're going to thank me later.
Time is running out. We're almost sold out. Are you playing at the Golf Club of Texas? Get on it with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Sierra Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation, Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. We got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Great. And we have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here it goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll absolutely guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight from the mine. We have cutters and hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The way the NBA season is going in San Antonio, you need to find a way to add excitement to watching those games. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. The way to do that is by playing at Underdog Fantasy. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app and start playing the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players from at least 2 different teams. Select whether they will be higher or lower on stats, and if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. It is fantasy, but legal in Texas. So download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up, use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Good morning, everybody. Coming up on the Blitz, the NFL free agent period has been rocking every team, improving their team. We will be talking about Jerry Jones, though. ESPN's Don Mandetta will join us at 4:35. He's writing an unauthorized biography called The Star. He'll join us to talk about that. Hey, Rob, if you do wear shorts to the Roo Pub on Friday, I hope your legs aren't as white as Minix's.
I don't know what's going on the Blitz and the conversations they're having, but how my legs came up, I don't know, or Minix even further. I probably will not be wearing my shorts out to the Roo Pub, but I will be there tomorrow in full regalia. The Blitz are going to get back together. I'll be with Jason tomorrow out at the Roo Pub. Joe and the whole RJ just ain't going to do it, so I'm going to fill in.
Why don't you want to wear shorts?
I don't know. I'm part of what Joe brought up. a little white, little opaque right now, a little ashy.
How do you fix that? You got to wear shorts.
You got to get out in the sun, baby. But it's not an overnight thing.
I mean, I don't know.
I will.
Be proud of yourself.
Tomorrow, Rupub, 2 to 6. Be there. There'll be games on. The food will be wonderful. The thing about the Rupub is, you hear pub. The stuff coming out of the kitchen, that is not pub grub. Posh nosh. Good food.
Pulled pork slaps.
They do. Their pulled pork is spectacular. They have as good a wedge salad as there is in all of San Antonio. And if you haven't had the Wimby burger, can you really call yourself a Spurs fan? Really? Wimby will not be in town to have the burger. He'll be playing in Austin, but Denver is coming quickly to take on the Spurs. They took down the Miami Heat last night. They are now firmly in control, at least for today, in the NBA's Western Conference, as the West is so ridiculously good right now that the Spurs are already mathematically eliminated. I mean, not like we thought we pretended to anything, but if you're going to offer the Austinites a game in the midst of South by Southwest, you bring in the champ. This is not a joke. This is not accidental. This is meant. Now you got the champ, then you get to follow it up with Brooklyn. They had hoped to get Ben Simmons in Austin, and they will, but Ben will be watching and not actually playing. But as the Spurs go against Denver, the question was asked, is Austin going to get the best version of the Spurs? Did they round into form with the plan being that when we hit March the 14th or 15th, that when we hit March the 17th or whatever that next game is, that we will be playing the best basketball of the season to show off who we are becoming? I believed it. I thought that was the plan. I'm not sure that's the case right
now. I think that they really want to put on a show.
Yeah.
In Austin. Yeah, I think we might see a minutes high for Wemby. That's actually, I'm gonna go on record right now. We will see a minutes high for Wemby probably on Friday against the Nuggets.
A couple of days off, easy roadie up there. And just that statement I find aggravating. That the best and most...
Do you disagree?
No, I think this is absolutely the case.
Yep.
But biggest
this is a show off. This is a showcase.
Not in front of us.
This is Rob. Go clean your room. Company's coming over, kind of thing. Like that level of energy is what's going on here with the Spurs.
Well, no, it's more like, let's go to somebody else's house because we got company we really care about coming. Don't bring them to San Antonio. Let's go to Austin. Let's rent a place. Let's get an Airbnb for a couple of games.
See, no, I don't think that's an apt analogy. I think we need to put on a show. We're here for one night, 2 nights, obviously, but we're here. We got to impress those around us. It's like, here's the better analogy. Like, honey, we're going to my boss's house for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, your best stories,
right.
Your best laughs. You know what I mean? Like, we need an A game here tonight because
I'm never going to get used to it.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get used to it. I'm not going to like this. I'm not going to pretend that it's good for all of us and what it might be. It ain't good for me. It ain't good for us.
It feels a little dirty. It's okay to say that.
The best team in the West is coming to play a home game against the Spurs. But all of those 10,000 season ticket holders, they can't even get a ticket to that because they sold those season tickets to people in Austin for a special day. And then tonight they're having a concert, and last night they painted a wall. And then the whole family's going to get together.
They had the Spurs Cup last night, dude.
So I'm never going to get used to this. I'm never going to act like this is okay. No other professional franchise has to deal with this crap. None of them. Not one. Jacksonville has to do something, but at least those guys are going to England.
No, and I was thinking more about this. It kind of feels like, I think the Bills played a game in Canada once. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, that's a similar thing. If I'm really trying to come up with
and keep in mind, why they played in Canada? They were trying to build a stadium in Toronto. That's why they went up there.
Wow. I was going to say, haven't the Pacers played at the Fieldhouse once or twice?
Oh, but that's the same city, just different gym.
I know, but like and that's even like a novelty thing. It's not the same. Yeah, I really can't think of one, dude.
and they tell us it's for the good of the brand. We're just just sit tight and watch the game if you can find it on one of our weird RSNs, or maybe you'll have to break the law and get into something called crack stream. But
hey, Rob,
we'll be back soon enough.
Rob, you can't watch the game on TV. You also can't go to it because it's going to be in Austin. But by the way, did you see the percent increase in season ticket games for next year?
25% across the board, baby.
That are accessible to you in San Antonio. It's a real gross feeling, if I'm being honest. But if this is for the greater good and we all lead as a result of it, okay. It's just kind of difficult to experience in the moment.
I want this to go away. Keep in mind, this was done when we weren't sure if Wemby was going to arrive, and the financial straits of the process would have been longer and more difficult, and they were trying to find a way to look appealing to investors. So they did that. They got the investors. Then, damn it, we got Wemby. We don't need to go to Austin. The brand just grew by 30% just by saying Victor Wembanyama. We sold 10,000 jerseys in Paris in 4 days that we had no idea were going to come off. They don't need to do this anymore, and they're committed to something that we don't need. It looks bad. It looks bad on us. I just will refuse to accept the fact that this is good for anybody but those in Austin.
There's a good to it, but it does feel bad. It's your feelings you are heard. But this. You got to go to the dinner at the boss's house. You know what I'm saying? You want that bonus at the end of the year? You got to go smile right now. That's kind of what this is about.
Go act nice for the Dells. And what's the name of that the guy that was it Uber? I don't know. The other guy, the other money.
Rory McIlroy just hit his tee shot on 17.
Did it hit the pin?
Are
we on the island?
Holy crap. He stuck it to 5 feet. It's rolling back a little bit now, but holy crap.
We've got about 20 minutes left in the show, and we're going to come back with a quote from Dan Orlovsky. Now, I'm not a big fan of Dan, but I'll tell you what, he might have nailed it on this one. We're talking Cowboys. Your thoughts on where the Cowboys sit on Dan Orlovsky. Not going to want to miss this. We'll be right back. This is 94.1 here on San Antonio's Sports Star. We're heading toward one of the 4 majors. It is while the Players' Championship is the 5th major in golf, the weekend of the Easter is the first of the 4 grilling majors. And if you're not adequately prepared, how can you be successful? I charge you today to head over to Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their special this week in preparation for what you're going to do in just a couple of weeks for Easter, because you got to hit it right on a holiday like that. And a great meal always starts with a great meal from Tri-County Meat Market. I want to remind you their freezer boxes are available. Buy in bulk, save a bunch of money. They've curated 4 different boxes with different types and amounts of meats for all the different kind of grillers that they see on a regular basis. If you want to put a bunch of meat in your freezer and save a fair amount of money on the best meat you're going to find, talk to them about it when you get there. Take advantage of the specials that they have every week. Throw a steak on the grill. You have earned it. But when you walk in today, I want you to look at their prepared food marks. Over on the left side of that of their refrigerated case, I want you to look at all those stuffed chicken breasts. You might have looked past them in the past because you're heading in there for a big porterhouse. I get it. This weekend, maybe grab that chicken breast that's stuffed with all those great Italian seasonings. That looks like lasagna on the inside of a chicken breast that's the size of a football. Or maybe you get the avocado bomb to go along with it. What they do to prepare the meat that they're bringing in there is spectacular. You're not going to find better chicken or beef fajitas anywhere, pre-seasoned and perfect. That's why I love Tri-County. 2 locations, over on Huebner, out on Ralph Fair, 5 for $25, always in play. The freezer box is waiting on you, but why do you go to get that good meat to throw on the grill to thrill you and the fam? Head over to Tri-County today. Get some of that great meat, and I know you're thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the NFL free agency period has been rocking. Every team adding some pieces.
We're talking about it on The Blitz starting at 2. But we will talk Cowboys with ESPN's Don Banetta, who is writing an unauthorized biography on Jerry Jones called The Star. Don Banetta joined us at 4:35.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
If you've been thinking about buying a new car or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Or if you're looking for an import, we have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. Or for your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in-store or online at Ancira.com.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water, pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
If you've been enjoying a little too much food, too many sweets, and too much liquid cheer over the holidays, then you've probably put a lot of stress on your liver. A great way to show your liver some love and to detox your system is simply adding Active Liver to your daily routine. Active Liver is an easy and effective way to keep your liver healthy and functioning properly all year long. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com, or for a volume discount, go to NORDICUSA.com or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your body's own natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk, run, climb stairs, play golf, and move again, pain-free. No pills, no risky surgery. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. So take action now. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
At BetUS.com, why do we care about a college basketball tournament every March, where bets mean everything? Because it's March Mania, where glory triumphs and anything can happen, where underdogs can make or break our hearts. Because it's March Mania, where brackets are broken and buzzers are beaten. And there's always been a sportsbook there for you and your best buds. Because it's March Mania. BetUS has been with you through 30 marches together. And like any good six-man, we've always had your back. And because it's March, BetUS.com is matching the mania with a mad offer. Back to back 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And the extra confidence that comes from a 10% gambler's insurance. Because anything can happen during March Mania. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins. Get started today.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
San Antonio's Sports Star. Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
It's the morning huddle. He's RJ. I'm Rob. We're glad you're with us today. It's Small Friday, Big Thursday, tournament day all day long. Stay with us. Make sure you're updated on scores. You won't have the Longhorns to kick around anytime soon. They lost. They're done. Kansas State took care of them. They expect me in the tourney, though. Kansas went down yesterday as well. University of Houston looks like they're headed toward a Final Four berth. That is a defensive juggernaut. That team, they play as good a defense as I've seen in 15 years in college basketball. Excited about that. Dan Orlovsky, a man of great conviction. Also, has an eye for off-colored suits. Well, that man will put on a green suit. That's just what he likes to wear. And sometimes he dies on hills that I think are crazy. He's from the Stephen A. school of bombastic takes, the Skip Bayless idea of plant your flag whether you're right or wrong. In fact, you'd rather be wrong or sometimes. Listen to what he had to say, RJ, about the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, and tell us when he's done with us how much of what he has to say you agree with.
I got into this with Stephen A. last week. They have a winning culture. They do. They win. It's just that when I look at the other teams, like San Francisco trades for McCaffrey, Philadelphia goes and gets a Saquon Barkley or an A.J. Brown. The Los Angeles Rams make the trade for Matthew Stafford. Like there's these other teams that we sit there, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to sit there and go, yeah, they're taking their shot right now. And it just never feels that Dallas takes their shot. They make good moves. They just don't take their shot.
The Dallas Cowboys make good moves. They do have a winning culture, but they just don't take a shot to win it all. Winning culture and winning regular season games is enough.
So I know what people think of Dan. I know a lot of people have a problem with him, and I know a lot of people think he's a bit of a hot takesman sometimes. Have you ever interviewed him?
I have. In fact, Edwin asked if I ever interviewed him and been in the same room with him. I talked to him the week after he ran out of bounds way back when. And since then I've had an occasion to be around him. So yeah, he's an entitled cat. I'll give him that.
I wouldn't go that far. I interviewed him once. We kind of talked Dak and Wentz back in the day, and we've had a kind of couple of Twitter back and forth. We actually had a Twitter back and forth yesterday. Yeah, he and I talking about this was on the the Dan Patrick show, excuse me. And I know that because of his reputation, Dan generally kind of gets dumped on for anything he says about the Cowboys, and he's made that bed. I mean,
right,
I don't want to,
so.
whatever. But I kind of agree with this. I mean, and a lot of people defend the Cowboys for not making big moves and saying like, oh, you can't make those big moves because if you miss whatever. Are the Niners afraid to miss? Are the Eagles afraid to miss? Are the Rams afraid to miss? Like, is anybody afraid to miss? And even if you do miss, even if the worst possible outcome happens, what's going to happen? You're not going to win the Super Bowl again? Whoa, no, wow, we're not at all prepared for that. How we could never stomach that. That's so impossible to think about. And so I agree with him. Now this was a long interview, obviously, and he talked about something that I am sort of coming around on. And I talk a lot about, this last week somebody tried to gotcha me with a tweet of mine. They pulled up a tweet of mine from 2022 and were like, oh, well, you thought the Cowboys should have moved on from Tyron Smith back then. And my argument, back was it's almost as if circumstances have changed since 2022. Right. And so as life happens, as things happen, as information happens, as context happens, we are allowed, all human beings, to change our opinions.
And if you don't, you're an idiot.
Right. So that being said, if I ran the Dallas Cowboys, I would 100% have paid Dak Prescott long ago and put an end to this whole silly thing. However, some information has changed. Some context has changed. And one of the primary benefits of extending Dak earlier in the offseason was the salary cap relief that it would have provided to have allowed the team to have been active in free agency. Now, they can still be active in free agency, obviously, but not to the degree that we were anticipating when we were, advocating for them to do this. And so that context has changed.
Yes.
Additionally, it's starting to, if you don't somehow think that this season is DOA, you are the most optimistic person I know. And it would be, I understand that the head coach with the Cowboys will never have the power that he totally should they totally should because of the ownership group. But in a perfect world, your head coach is the person who is deciding everything. They are the metronome that everything kind of revolves around. And I would really be bothered if the new head coach came in and was saddled with a quarterback that they may not agree with, that they may not want for the duration of their time with the Cowboys. So it would suck to, hey, Rob, you're the new head coach of the Cowboys. By the way, last August, we negotiated an NFL record extension with Dak Prescott. So you're stuck with him for 3 years. And it may work out that you want him, but it may not. You may lose a candidate because they don't believe in Dak Prescott. So, at this point, it would almost behoove them to just kind of, let the season whatever and tank and whatever. But the problem is they're not even doing things
in a way that makes it easier to do what they might be intimating that they want to do, though they're even doing it wrong.
There's not a single North Star that everything is pointed at.
Well
said. They have, whether that's tanking, whether that's competing, whether that's whatever, they are just drifting. They are just floating. They are just existing, and they're contaminating both the present and the future at the same time. And that is the most difficult thing to square at the end of the day.
This is Dan Orlovsky going on about the Cowboys.
The day after they lost to Green Bay, I said they should blow the whole place up. Restart. 3 years in a row, 12 wins. I would have gotten rid of Mike McCarthy. I would have moved on from Dak. Try to get as much value as I could from a good starting quarterback in the NFL. Now they're pigeonholed. You're either going to play handcuffed this season because of the salary that he has, and you're going to have holes that you're not going to be able to fill at some point, or you're going to have to extend him and continue to kick the can down the line when the results, when they've mattered the most, have been underwhelming. And so I could see Jerry Jones saying, well, I've tried it. It hasn't gone the way I've wanted. Maybe we try it this way.
He's absolutely right. And look, I'm never comfortable advocating for somebody to be fired, but the reason you fire Mike McCarthy at that point, everybody's argument is always, oh, well, they're going to move on from Dak anyway. What if the new head coach wants Dak?
Right.
You know what I mean? What if the new head coach gets here and is like, y'all let this guy out the building? I would have totally taken this job if he'd been in tow. What you have to do is you bring that new coach in so he can evaluate Dak and he can determine whether he wants Dak Prescott to be the quarterback of the future or if he doesn't. That is a decision that person should make because they are the most influential person for the foreseeable future here. And so I agree with Dan. They are pigeonholed. They have nowhere to go but, the middle, and they can't make any aggressive moves one way or another. Firing Mike McCarthy would have been one of those big moves he talked about. It would have been, taking a line or drawing a line in the sand and taking a hard, firm stance, but they refuse to do that. They are comfortable. They are cushioned. They are soft.
And this is this little bit is the most difficult thing for me to justify as a Cowboy fan. This little part right here, the idea that you're not going to make a decision on McCarthy, you're just going to fix the glitch and let him play out his, I don't want to fire him. I'm just going to let him go away.
You're going to waste a whole year of everything. And you're going to waste the final year that CeeDee Lamb's contract is rookie contract numbers. You're going to waste another year of Micah Parsons' rookie contract. You know what I mean? Like you're just drifting in the ether here. Like you're pointlessly, aimlessly wandering, and that accomplishes nothing.
I would much rather be all unified and marching in a direction that I don't approve of than the situation they're in now, because they're not going anywhere. It is scatter shooting. It is opening the mail and hoping something showed up good. It's checking your balance, hoping there's just a little bit of money in there. And just hoping. I hope it works out. I hope we get it right.
Really jealous of? I'm really jealous of the Minnesota Vikings. Not because they got rid of Kirk Cousins, but because they made a decision.
Right.
That their whole, brain trust got behind. And that might blow up in their face. The Falcons could win the Super Bowl. I'm a big fan of Kirk Cousins individually. He's a Spurs fan as well. That certainly helps. But that they all got together, they evaluated him, and they said, man, we would do this, but we're at a position where we believe this is the best way forward for the whole organization. Everyone is on the same page. They're committed to it. It might blow up in their face. It might be wrong, but they all of their, directives and energy are pointed at the same direction on the compass.
We'll keep you up to date as the free agency period continues. All the news you need will be right at sasportstar.com. Make sure you're on the social trail with RJ. If anything drops, of course, he will pick it up and put it back together. Dalvin Cook could be a Dallas Cowboy by the time we speak again tomorrow. In the meantime, make sure you're with us. We'll keep you up to date. And the Blitz today from 2 to 6, they're going to have an author on that's writing an unauthorized biography of Jerry Jones. This is in the midst of a weird legal situation with Dak Prescott going on. You're not going to want to miss the Blitz today. It should be a great conversation because behind the scenes with Jerry is a place that I'm not sure too many people have come back from in a lot of different ways. I'll be interested to see it. Any last words, RJ, as we have but a minute left in this small Friday edition?
I hope you and everyone who is listening, watching, or feeling has a delicious lunch and a delicious dinner, and I'll go one step further, a delicious snack somewhere in between or after the dinner.
Hey, go watch some hoops today, baby. Revel in the glory that is the conference tournaments. Greatness to be had and fun to be watched all day long. We'll keep you up to date, and don't forget, the brackets are coming. Do your due diligence now. I almost said it wrong. Hey, coming up, I don't think Greeny's at work today, but they'll have some kind of slap fill in. Hey, Rome's on a vine. And the Blitz is just around the corner. Make sure you tune in. It'll be Joe's last show of the week. Wave goodbye to him and wave goodbye to RJ if you're watching us live. He's working out. I'm Rob Thompson. He's RJ Ochoa. The Morning Huddle is about to be broke. We'll see you again tomorrow. Y'all be cool.
This